Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the last race of the week and the last one before the break week. It is here at Division 3 Shanghai Sprint Weekend here at China. And we are going to have a very interesting night. We've got a few surprises on the grid tonight. Obviously, a few guys not making the races and a few reserves jumping in and showing what they are capable of, which is going to be very, very exciting to see. Questions will be asked. Will Alpine be going into the break week? The overalls will still be leading the overalls. We'll still have to wait and see. We obviously still got standings and results and all that shabazz still pending. But we'll concentrate on this race tonight. 2 races, 1 sprint, 1 feature, 2 sessions of qualifying, and we have an absolutely fantastic grid on tonight. But questions. We have a new commentator in the comms box. Well, the man yesterday, he had a fantastic race for the Williams. You may have seen him win the sprint. You may have seen him win the feature. Chaos, good evening.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks very much for having me on. The only reason why I'm here is because just to talk about that performance yesterday, mate. Just thought I'd let you know nice and early. But yeah, glad to be here. See how these fellas go today. See if they can mimic the performance I had yesterday. I'll stop the clays there on myself. But yeah, glad to be here. See how this goes tonight.
So you're basically here for the ego.
100%. No two ways about that. Come on, everybody. They won't admit it, but I'm happy to admit it, SJ. You know what I mean? I'll accept my own faults. You know, there's little bits and pieces that people can improve on, but you know, I'm definitely here to talk about myself a little bit tonight. I won't lie.
Okay, all right. Well, don't prop yourself up too much, and that ego, because that ego will be going to Div 4, and you know these guys do have a little bit of a whinge very quickly when some drivers quicker than them. So keep that in check, mate, and we'll just concentrate on Div 3 tonight. But we'll talk a little bit about your obviously race as well. But thank you very much to everyone joining in. As always, I am your comms and host SJ, and I'm joined tonight by Kaus. And I'm going to run you through the grid very, very quickly. We're going to go straight into it. And there you go. There is your grid order tonight. So looking lovely weather here at China. We saw a very interesting week at China for the rest of the divisions. A bit of rain, a bit of sun, and then a bit of a mixture in some of the sprints and some of the qualies as well. And also in the Division 5 last night, where me and Rekus, we do make mistakes. We are human. We are not robots. I'm not AI generated. Neither is he. We do, like I said, we do make mistakes, and we did get the strategy wrong yesterday. So strategy tonight is going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. But we've got lovely, bright skies, sunshine, and let's go for our grid order. So we've got Tyler in the kit. We've got Abhishek in the Red Bull. Will this be the time that we will see him in silly season signing for the RBs? We'll still have to wait and see. We've got Brian, the new TP as well of Mercedes. Had a very interesting week last week in Vegas. Will he be able to do the same, even better, and get the win this week, or even get on the podium? We've got Calco as well jumping in, looking probably for that full-time seat as well. So opportunities could be arising tonight for Calco in that VCAP. He has raced for quite a few teams as well, so really, really good to see him race for a number of teams to help them all out as well. Hennessy has been on great form the last 2 weeks, so will we see that again tonight? McLaren, fantastic last week in Vegas, probably one of their best races of the season. Will we see that tonight? That's going to be the question. We got Matty AU, very unfortunate last week with the incident with the VCAP. He'll probably want to be incident-free tonight to help Aston Martin grab some points and put a standstill on that overalls. We got Hadi to go, a brand new driver, did jump into the reserve program. I actually raced against him. He's got some serious pace, so he'll be one to watch out for tonight, and will be one to watch out for going into obviously silly season as well. And obviously Haas, the new TP of Gangster that has taken on that, will be looking at him or not, but he is racing for his team tonight. We've got Slushy, welcome back to the grid. He was in the reserve program for a few races. Let's see how he goes. No pressure, enjoy yourself, have fun, score points for the team, and don't bloody DNF. Okay, you got Noah Hooney in the Williams, had a fantastic result in the feature for Division 4 the other night in the McLaren. Was really, really pushing on those mediums as well, and did really, really well. So he's earned himself a go tonight in Division 3 for Dido. So all the best in the Williams, and definitely one to watch out for. Will be probably being signed, but the question is who is going to be the biggest question. It's your boy JC, or if we just call him CJ for short. Very, very good in the Mercedes for Division 4. Was very good in the sprint and also in the feature. So he's driving the kick tonight, helping out Sick Buddy, and he'll be one to watch out for as well. And also reserving up as well. So really, really good to see some of these Div 4 guys giving a go in Div 3. We've then seen Daz as well. He's been in a mixture of cars, had to go in Division 4, did struggle. So we'll have to wait and see how he goes tonight in Division 3. We've got Not Kim, known as Vu. Obviously, he will definitely want to bounce back from that DSQ last week in Vegas. Then we got Rossi in the Ferrari. We got Wogjet, who has had a fantastic season, probably wants to be on that podium and is getting a little bit fed up of driver of the days and wants to get a podium. So keep an eye out on him tonight. We got Dutch Verstappen. He'll want to do one better and be on the podium with his teammate like last week. Then we got Spud Muffin, who does have a quali ban in the feature, so he is all good to do with qualifying in the sprint. Good to have him back. We'll have to wait and see how he goes. And then we've got Karubi. Very, very good performance in Vegas, finishing P2 as a reserve. And as well, be probably looking to be signed as well going into silly season. And we've got the man, alas, we're going to say it as well, Nishka, who's just taken pole position with 132.875. Will that momentum continue with Nishka, or will it be the same as usual that we've seen from Mercedes this season? But I'm feeling that they've got a good morale in that Mercedes garage at the moment, Kels.
Yeah, it's great to see Nish putting up a very strong time there, 132.8. I'm pretty sure that was kind of similar to the feature race pole, and these guys are doing it on mediums in the sprint quali. So there's a bit of a difference between the divisions. I'll be honest. There's a bit of pace and quality difference there. I can see, and I know Nish has been around for a year or two now, and he's starting to really hone and develop his skills and refine himself to be a formidable driver. So see how he goes tonight. Good mate of mine, Nishka, does a lot of work around rush racing as well. I think you can speak to that a little bit more, SJ. But yeah, I think very strong grid so far, and interested to see what happens at the end of quali for the sprint.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you'll probably see a lot of these guys on the medium compact tyres, and then they'll be going in onto the softs. Only 11 minutes in sprint quali, and obviously 18 minutes in the feature. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. And we've lost Rise, so if you've got him as a friend, or you could message him in the stream, that would be great, and get him an invite, or he can get an invite from the host, or someone on the grid would be fantastic. But yeah, going talking about a little bit about Nishka. Obviously, he had a fantastic result in Vegas. He does like China. Obviously, we've raced China together this season in the NA League, and he's looking pretty good. And this can really, really help you moving forward. You get one win, you get another, or you get a few good results, and then you start getting that momentum, which is really, really good for them. And a bit of a change as well, which is we've seen a few changes, and well, I'll say few, I'll lie. We've seen a lot of changes with TPs, which has been really unfortunate. But sometimes you need that change, don't you, Cass? You need that change to change things up a little bit. If the morale's down, the team dynamics are down, you need to adjust some of the drivers. What's your feelings on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can speak to my experience so far with Rush at the moment. With that, I think the camaraderie that we have at Williams has really, really motivated me to come back into the scene, me specifically anyway, just from my personal experience. And even in any sort of team sport, right, like that sort of connection and you know, camaraderie that you build with the people that you do it with is always important, right? So, yeah, it speaks volumes to when a team has a good TP and someone who's very active and wanting to help out each individual in the team, versus to when someone might be a little bit more passive. You know, people have lives, I understand, but that will hurt results, right? Just naturally, if you're not as active and looking to improve the individuals that are under your wing. So yeah, it's night and day difference, and it is very instrumental for a team to be successful.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It changes all the time, and sometimes you need those changes. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. All right, we've got two guys on an outlap. I'm going to let you take this away. We've got Slushy on an outlap in the Red Bull, or we've got Huddy to go. That's just about to start into Sector 1. So we've got a little bit of time on these guys. Who do you want to jump on board with?
Yeah, it looks like I think Slushy's a little bit further ahead from looking at this, so we might jump on board with him. Um, and the nice looking Red Bull. I'll be honest, my UI, I need to optimize it a little bit more, SJ. If you got any, oh wait, hold on, I figured it out. There we go. Sorry, it's the first time I'm going to be doing commentating, so I just need to set up my stuff on my end. There we go. I've got the map on my screen, and we're Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Good to go.
There we go.
Give me some info on Slushy. Is he a very competitive driver? Would you expect him to be in this qualifying session, SJ, before he starts his lap?
Well, he's P5 at the moment. You got his teammate in P2. Obviously, they're looking pretty good. They've obviously set times already. Slushy's been out, to the reserve program for a few races with that incident in Australia. So he's got a point to prove, and I think he wants his seat. And as far as I'm aware, he loves the league. He loves getting involved, and this is his time to shine. So over to you, Kaz, on Slushy.
Beautiful. Let's jump on board with Slushy for his lap of China here in Shanghai. See how he takes his turn 1 entry. Very, very aggressive onto the inside line. If I'm being very over analysis, maybe a little bit wider than he probably hoped for, but tucks in nice well into the second part of the corner, and gonna pop that ERS down onto this mini straight here as we hit the 100-meter break board. Good turn in, nice touch of the front right there. Tap that ERS again and get some more pace as we enter sector 2. Nice and tight to the inside left. Oh, just nice little downshift and really hugging on that curb. Love that from him. Great lap so far. Nice and tidy so far. Maybe if I'm being overcritical, there could be some time there. But looks very, very clean so far and very nice. Nice touching on the apex on the right-hand side. See if he can get on the power. Ooh, maybe lost a little bit there. A little bit wide than he wanted to. Still looks very strong though. And he's going to get some help here with the with this McLaren that's going to give him a tow. A little bit of traffic he's going to have to run into. Maybe some dirty air he might run into here. Still manages it well. Deals with it, with the situation that he's got at his hands. Nice turn in over that last curb. Hit the DRS zone. That's a lap of China. That is pole position 32.5 so far. Time to beat. Let's see how the rest of the field goes.
Yeah, nicely done. We also, if you could get Rise in, I think he's added you. Hopefully he has time to set a time. We'll have to wait and see. But really, really good there from Slushy. We've got Nishka as well coming down the main straight. We've also got another car. I'm just trying to jump on board with him very, very quickly. That is Spud Muffin, who looks like he is just about to finish off low on the fuel. What's Spud Muffin going to do? He's down there in P9 at the moment. We are going to jump on board with the rest of the guys. He goes pole with 32.526, so we are seeing improvements. Nishka, can he do it for Mercedes? We saw a double Mercedes the other night. Can he continue? No, he doesn't. Stays P3. What about his teammates? And Brian goes, no, Brian's not in P6. It's your boy, JC or CJ in P4. We've now got Brian. Can Brian take pole? No, he can't. P3, P4. Nishka goes down to P4. We've got the Aston Martin next. Coming around the corner. Wojcik. Can he get further up? He has struggled with qualifying up to P6. Fantastic there. We've got the other Red Bull of Abhishek as well. What's it going to be? Takes pole position of 32.319. What about Slushy? He's got one more opportunity. No, he's not, because he's running low on ERS. We've got the Ferrari of Rossi up to P12. We've got people moving around like clockwork. We've now got Hennessy in P12. Where's he going to go? He goes P8. Who else have we got? We've got the other McLaren of Dutch Verstappen. He's validated. It's done. We've then got one more driver, which looks like it's going to be Noah Hooney. What's he going to be for Noah Hooney? Comes around into the final corner. Can he take it out from P19? Yes, he can, up into P10. What about Huddy to go? He is into the pits. And look at that! It's a 1-3 for Red Bull.
Cool. That's a great result for those boys over at Red Bull. Abhishek, 2/10 off the next best time, so really, really good lap from him, and showed a lot of pace there to take the pole position. We saw a really good lap from Slushy as well, so he must have really found time in that third sector there on the exit of that turn, I think, and maybe a little bit in sector 2 from when we were on board with Slushy. But yeah, really tidy lap from Slushy. So Abhishek must have really put it together. So, well done to those Red Bull boys. 1 and 3's very good start for the sprint.
Yeah, fantastic. Really good. Did you get Rise back in?
Yeah, I sent them the invite, and not sure what Red's doing, but see what the go is there.
And Rise?
Yeah, send him
Yep,
the invite.
sweet.
I've,
Okay.
I've tried to get him back in.
All good. No drama. All right. Well, that is fantastic. We'll go through the classification results for the sprint. Albashik taking pole position. What a time from him. He's got a point to prove. Spud Muffin in P2 coming back. Really good start from him. He will not start the quaddy in the feature, though, so he definitely needs to get a good result for Williams in the sprint. Then we've got Slushy, your top 3. Then Brian Nishka, JC, Wugjet, Hennessy are your top 8. Then Not Kim, Noah Huni, Tyler, Dutch, Kelko, Rossi, Daz, and Hadi to go, Karubi, Madia Yu, and Rise, unfortunately, not getting back in the lobby, only sitting on 134. Wow, this is going to be very interesting. We saw we did see in Div 4 between myself and Soup that we did quite well in the sprint. Are we seeing the same for Red Bull in 3 as well? They're looking like they could mean business tonight in the sprint and also the feature.
Team to beat, but SJ quality is just one part of the race. You still got to actually put it together when the flag goes down and see how they manage the beginning of the race. It is a very short straight to the first turn, and negotiating that first turn isn't exactly easy. With cold tires, dirty air, a lot can go on. A lot of positions to be gained. A lot of positions can be lost as well. So it's just about managing your pace, your speed, picking your battles, knowing where to put your nose in, knowing when to hold off. Hopefully these guys can negotiate it nice and cleanly, but we'll wait and see.
Definitely. I'll let you
very
take
dry
away the
too,
sprint.
so
I'll let you take it away.
here we go, ladies. Thanks very much, SJ. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are out and we are off and racing. Abhishek seems to be away and ahead, nice and tidy there with Spud Muffin there on his inside. There comes across. That could almost be a incident, but they avoided it nice and tidy. Some Mercedes making some moves there. Nishka making a place up on CJ. Cristiano looks like he's getting up there nice and tidy in the Aston Martin, but looked like he did lose that position in the McLaren 2. Hennessy jump on board in the front again. 4/10 already in just the first sector from Abhishek, showing a lot of pace difference already, and looks to be very strong on this track, making a lot of gains nice and early. Seem to be a lot of medium runners in this race so far, and seems to be the tyre to choose here in the sprint. So let's see how that adds up and works out for the rest of the grid. Trying to see if there's any hard runners, if there anyone that's decided to. Hennessy and Karubi, the 2 individuals that have taken the gamble. Looking like there was some positions lost there for Not Kimin. Wonder what's happened to him there, as maybe got pushed out of the way going into the back straight. As we go to finish the first lap here of the sprint with Abhishek in the lead, Spud closely behind, and Slushy in P3.
Yeah, really good start there. We're seeing a few moves going on here between Dutch and Hennessy. They've decided to switch it, so Dutch onto the mediums, obviously Hennessy on those hards, but then Noah Huni trying to go around the outside as well, switching from the McLaren to the Williams for this race. We've then got Karubi on those hards as well, so 2 guys on the hards. We've got a little bit of drum going on at the back there. We've got the Alpine of Rise. I don't know, is Rise in the lobby or not? 77, I think. Yeah, he is in the lobby. I've just seen it there. He is burning. So we've got both Ferraris down there in P17, P18. Not the night that they want, and Lamb would want either after a very good week here at China. They've scored some massive points. But back up to the front. Brian and Nishka still in that P4 and P5 position. Everyone from P1 is exactly the same. Obviously, Dutch has made 4. Hennessy has lost 1. And then you've got Noah, Tyler, all in the same position. Honey making up 4. Karubi making up 4. So the Haas trying to make their way up through the order. Then we've got Madia Yu making up 4 as well. Kalka losing 2. Not Kim, known as Vu, down 7. So he's obviously having a little bit of problem. Then we've got Rossi and Daz down 3, and Rise staying where he is at the moment. But nice little battle going on. Rise has joined, so he may have not been in the lobby, unfortunately. Looks like he is in the lobby now. So Yeah, that's AI, and now that looks like that will be Rise himself. Albashek, though, leading the way, 5.5 attempts, but here comes Spud Muffin. He's going to get DRS. We'll jump on board with Spud Muffin just to see how he takes into turn 1. This is where we see most of the accidents, because they're late on the brakes, they overcook here, they overspeed. A lot of things can happen in this corner here, guys.
Yeah, a lot of incidents can very easily turn into bringing the opposition and other drivers into your battles and all that sort of stuff. Very easy to lose a lot of time on this track and fighting on a lot of corners. And I think it's very important to note the wings that these guys might be running as well. That might be something that they'll need to just kind of analyze as the race goes on. Where am I losing time? Where do I need to kind of push to maintain my gap? Can I make a move? Where is it? Can I put my nose into? A lot of things that are all happening all at the same time, and I think this track is very underrated in my opinion. It really does force you to make some very conscious decisions. As it looked like Brian might have looked up at the inside of Slushy there, but decided not to commit to that move. But Abhishek so far driving phenomenally, making keeping that 5-10 gap pretty consistent. Of course, Spud will be getting DRS in both of those back straight and the start finish. So that might be keeping him in the fight, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Abhishek start to drive away with this one, but we'll see what happens as we head on to the back straight here, SJ.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be very interesting to see, and Brian is getting very, very close to Slushy, and looks like he is going to pounce very, very soon. We're going to get a little bit further down. We've still got Hennessy on those hard compound tyres. There is a bit of a gap though. You've got Dutch 2.4 seconds back. He is solidified that P8 position. That is the last spot in the sprint, and then you've got Wojciech in P7. We've got a bit of drama at the back there as Rise and Daz look like they may have come together there, so something's happened there. We've got Karubi down there in P14. Oh, a little bit of a snap there between Karubi and Matty AU, and Matty and Karubi gets shoved off track there, so yeah, that's an interesting one. A little bit argy-bargy there, and that'll definitely be looked at by the stewards there on that one. Karubi getting a 3-second time penalty, but yeah, that will be looked at by the stewards, I'm sure of it, or the House will definitely report that coming in. We've got Dutch 2.3 back, then Wojciech 1.7, and then P6 all the way down to P1, all in a DRS train as well. Go a little bit further down, we've then got the two V-cabs going at it of Vu and Calco. Calco following very, very closely there. Karubi having a little bit of a snap there as well. Back up to the front. Albashek leading the line pretty well so far. Spud Muffin not engaging anything at the moment. Slushy still in that P3. Brian still very, very close to him. Nishka holding his own as well. And yeah, CJ as well holding his own. So question is Wojciech going to be able to get into this battle as well? Or Dutch within, you know, the laps left? Because obviously we're on 4 laps out of 10. And what we see any moves happening at the moment.
Yeah, there was a lot of moves going on, and as you were talking about that battle with Karubi, there was almost an incident that happened with the front too. Spud Muffin had a look on the inside of Abhishek and had to really jump on the anchors to stop him driving to the side of his side pod. So I think these front two are getting a little bit spicy, and we'll see how it ends up at the end of the sprint race. Doesn't look like Spud will get the move on this turn, but might have a sniff going into the start-finish onto turn 1. See how he negotiated this. Seems to be nice and tidy. Maybe he can try to do the move. Doesn't look like he'll be able to get it there. Looks like Tyler was under a lot of pressure as well from Huddy during the last lap. Maybe interesting to see if Huddy can get the move done in this lap. Doesn't look like he'll have an opportunity to do that, but it looks like there is a battle for P8 with the McLarens. Hennessy and Dutch Verstappen going side by side here, and it looks like Dutch Verstappen will get the better of him just slightly. That was very, very, very close from these boys in the McLarens. They're still going at it, SJ. Oh, what just happened to Hennessy?
What's
He's
happened
off
there?
the track. He's just disconnected. I don't know. His controller dropped it on the floor. Steering wheel must have unplugged itself. Mum must have turned off the power supply. I don't know what's going on there. Hennessy's out of the race.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's going to be very interesting. I don't know, you know, obviously no safety car in the sprint as well, but it was really interesting to see because they were battling, and I don't know why they were battling, and obviously you could see that one of them had a little bit of front wing damage as well. I'm just trying to stay on board with Dutch as well. Yeah, Dutch had the front wing damage on the left-hand side, and Hennessy, yeah, it's just gone straight to the wall. And it didn't even look like he turned his wheel. So unless he's had a disconnection, but then he's managed to turn again. So I don't know what's happened there, unless it's slipped or something's happened. It'll be very interesting. I'm sure the stewards will definitely be wanting to look at that. But, you know, it's really hurt. He's gone straight again. So I don't know if his controller's completely gone or wheel gone, but he doesn't seem to be driving that car at the moment, unless something's happened with his tech. Well, yeah, we'll jump off him at the moment. Abhishek still leading the way, but Spud Muffin getting a little bit closer now, and Slushy, are we going to see a shake and bake from the two Red Bulls? Or are we going to see Abhishek slow Spud Muffin down so Slushy can get the job done? But he does have Brian and Nishka for company as well, and CJ is getting quite close to Nishka. The problem is Wojciech now is 3.3 seconds out, so it doesn't look like he is going to be joining this pack as well. But what's that, Gals? What's going on?
Sorry about that. Slushy looked like he just outbraked himself and smacked into the back of Spud there. Might have had some front wing damage, potentially, but it looks like it's all good. But something to look out for. These Red Bull guys are really having a go here, and Spud is not letting them get by easily as well. I think if a move needs to be done very shortly from Spud, because the entire field is really catching up and is going to put a lot of pressure on these front guys. We can already see a train forming very, very well here, all the way from P1 to P6. So these guys need to sort out and jostle for position and need to drive away with this race. Abhishek will be under pressure once again from Spud, but it looks like he might need to be looking behind first. Looks like there's actually a lot of gaps between each other, and there won't be any moves made on this back straight. But a lot of time gained there from Spud there. He almost gained 3/10. Looks like there was an incident here, SJ?
No, CJ was going to go for a move on Nishka and then thought otherwise, and nearly went for that move into that nice little hairpin on the last sector 3 there, and decided against it, and Nishka has kept the P5 position, but CJ is wanting that position, and I think Nishka's going to come under a lot of pressure from that kick. He really is pushing. We've also got Nishka and Brian still in that P4 and P5. They've not been able to make any moves on Slushy. To be honest with you, the sprint is literally just been a DRS train between P6 and P1. Spud Muffin going very late on the brakes there, and Slushy really having to brake. We've got Rise that's left the session again, so we could get him back in. That would be Sabby-dozy, please, Kels. We've then, going a little bit further down, we've then got Wogjet in P7, who will cement that extra 2 points, and Dutch will cement that first point. But unless Noah Hooney can get him, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, we've got Tyler and Hoodie. They are out of the points at the moment. So Malia, Calco, not Kim, Karubi, and Rossi, Daz, and Rise. Not the night for the Alpines tonight. They've got one car on the track, and he's disconnected, and they've got no other car on track. So not having a good night tonight. But I tell you who is having a good night. It's the Red Bulls and the Mercedes here. Could we see a 1-2 or a 1-3 for Red Bull in the sprint? Still pressure from Spud Muffin. He has made a few mistakes there. Slushy has to time his braking to basically perfection because he's got Brian all over him. I'm just trying to see if Brian's got a bit of damage there at all. No, he's got his whole winging intact as well. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to engage and move there. Noah's dropped a little bit back now in a second, and he's now going to come under pressure from Tyler. So Dutch at the moment is in that P8 position, 2.5 seconds back. Noah is now going to be attacked by Tyler as Tyler does get the move done going into turn at number 1, and a great job there from Tyler. Now, can Tyler get that last point for kick? That will be the question. He's 8.5 tenths away from Dutch. Dutch does have damage, so I reckon Tyler can do it, but can he do it within 3 laps?
Yeah, we'll wait and see what Tyler can do. Great move from against Noah there to get that position made. He was under pressure from Hardy earlier on in the sprint, so good to see him find some rhythm, get in the race, and get a move done to gain some place instead of moving back. He will need to push very, very hard against someone who I think is a very strong driver in this grid, Dutch Verstappen. So might be a tall order, but we'll wait and see what Tyler can do in this race. Abhishek driven fantastically so far, holding on to P1 from the beginning, hasn't put a foot wrong, but will be under pressure once again. And the one thing I do feel for Abhishek is it's just been really unfortunate he hasn't been able to drive away from Spud and the rest of the grid, because it's really allowed to get the rest of these guys into this fight and contest for positions that could potentially be ruining his race in the latter end of the race here. Slushy might be able to have a run here on Spud if he can get some ERS down, but it looks like he's actually on very, very low, so won't be able to get that move done. Did have a good exit out of that corner though, but isn't going to look like he's going to be able to get a move done there, SJ, as we once again have a bit of a train going on here from P1 all the way down to P6.
Yeah, definitely. It's been like that for quite a while. I'm going to go jump back on board with Tyler. I want to see if Tyler's going to get this last point. We've got Medier U and Huddy Go as look at this. A lot of battling going on here, and obviously these guys are fighting, but there's no obviously points up for grabs. Huddy Go loses the back end there. He's going to have someone's lost it at the back. Oh, big accident!
Oh,
Big accident there at the back there. And looks like Karubi and Vu. There we go. Karubi and Vu have had a bit of a situation there. Don't take the mickey out of my camera settings. Off camera settings. I love it. That's how I drive. There we go. Abhishek leading the way. Spud Muffin in P2. Slushy needs to be careful. He needs to stay within that DRS. We can see here Brian is all over him. He's a second out. This could be serious trouble for Slushy. Are we going to see the DRS enabled here? Is he going to be able to hold it? It doesn't look like he is. He's going to come under extreme scrutiny now from Brian. Can Brian get the move done? And this is going to be probably problems for Slushy as Brian goes for the move on the right hand side. Slushy can't. He's got to try and go around the outside. He chose to go for the switch. Doesn't happen. Brian gets P3. And now the Mercedes are going to try and block and get the other Mercedes through. Or are they just going to risk it for this position? Brian is now 1.5 seconds back. Nishka's going to go for a move as well. Oh, there we go. It's Nishka's through onto Slushy and Nishka's into P4. We've got yellows flashing at the back there. And Albashek is round. Albashek has gone into the gravel and he's lost the lead. And that brings the Mercedes a 1-2. Oh, Gauss, back to you, mate.
There was a lot of contact going on there between Abhishek and Spud there, SJ. There was a lot going on at the front while you were discussing the change of position between Nish and Slushy. But yeah, it was just a coming together between the two guys at the front, and it looks really, really unnecessary, really silly from both the drivers. A little bit of inexperience, I could say. It just looked all sort of messed up there, and it's just unfortunate for Abhishek, who's driven brilliantly this race, but wrong place, wrong time, and it looks like he is going to have to settle for P9. Brian and Nish driven a fantastic race and kept their nose nice and clean, and they're going to come around into the back straight. Do we think Nish might take a run onto his teammate into the back straight here with DRS enabled? Doesn't look like he might get it, and he does get that DRS up against Brian. Might try to fight into the second last turn here and the hairpin. Not able to attack him in this corner, but might get the power down in time to try to fight as we cross the final corner. Brian is going to be able to keep it nice and tidy. Going to come across the line of the sprint race here in China. Brian takes your P1, Nishka in P2, and Spud Muffin in P3. Well done, fellas.
Wow, absolute scenes here for the sprint. What a change. It looked like it was Albashek going to be taking the win there. And, I actually missed it because I was on board Nishka getting the move done on Slushy, and then obviously that happened between, obviously, I would say Albashek and Spotty. So big reports probably be coming in on that sprint race as well. But that is a learning curve for both of those drivers as well going into the feature, because they don't have 10 laps, they've got 28 laps to deal with this. So yeah, very interesting. But Mercedes, what a night for them. 1-2, they will be over the moon. Brian will be over the moon, Nishka will be over the moon, and so will the whole Mercedes team. But that is good points. It's 8 and, well, let's have a look. Did they get the fastest lap? No, they didn't. So it's 8 and 7 points for them. So good job for them, but it is the feature that matters. So Brian and Nishka and Spud are your top three as well. And Slushy does fall down to P4, but does get the fastest lap. So he does get the same amount of points as Spud. CJ into P5, Wojciech into P6, Dutch into P7, Tyler into P8. So he does get that last spot because Abhishek falls into P9. Then you got Noah, Hadi, Maria, Calco, Rossi, Daz, Karubi, Ryan, tyres, Notkin and Hennessy. We do have one more driver to jump in, so if you've got Tazio, you could get him in. That would be absolutely fantabidozy. Woo! This is only the start. This is only the start.
This is only the entree, ladies and gents. This is the entree. It's the sprint race. I think in my experience from racing last night, you can kind of get away with being a little bit more aggressive in the sprint, trying to make those really aggressive moves because there is a lot less jeopardy in comparison to the sprint race, where you get a lot of positions and a lot of points for those positions made, and it's a lot longer, and there's a lot more jeopardy in there. As we load up into qualifying. And it's bucketing down, SJ.
Yeah, it is. It's and this is what spices things up. This is what spices things up massively here, and we've got wet racing for the feature quali, which is it's gonna be very interesting. Any comments, any rumours? Let us know. If there is any, are we gonna have a dry race? Are we gonna have a are we going to have a wet race? Let me know. Really would let me know. That's what I need to know. Right, so we are going to see a few people retire because they do have quali bans. So let me just point them out. Just get them a bit of a reminder so they don't forget. Okay, so we do have... just have a look here. Just bear with me a second, please.
No, you're right, SJ. I will. I'll hold the fort here. Look, qualifying in the wet is a bit of a skill in itself. I think all the drivers will be hoping that it will dry up as the session progresses. But looking at these clouds, and with a little bit of experience in racing on China, it takes a bit of a time for the track to dry up, even if the rain does stop coming down. So I think it's best to get these bankers out nice and early, try to get those lap times in, and be very, very efficient with your braking, with your trail braking, carrying speed into the corners, making sure that you're not doing anything that's unnecessary that could jeopardize your lap, because any misstep might be very, very, very detrimental for your lap time. Looks like a few fellas are heading out nice and early. We got Abhishek, who unfortunately did run into some issues at the latter end of the sprint race. I think it was a bit of an unfortunate situation that happened for him, only because I do think that he was out and out the most competitive driver out there, even under pressure with DRS and a lot of drivers behind him. And he'll be looking to bounce back in this qualifying going into the Grand Prix.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just want to put notes out there quickly. Cass, if you could message Tazio, he is going to be racing in the Alpine. You're going to have to add him or message him and ask him, because he's trying to get in apparently. So I just thought I'd push that out to you. Obviously, we're not losing the stream. That is the rule. If you need an invite, you need to add the host. Okay, right. So we do have 15 minutes of quali. Cass will try and get Tazio in. Anyone else got Tazio? Invite him. Please invite him. It'll be great to see other people. As some of you guys are in the pit, so if you've got Tazio as a friend, please invite him. Spud Muffin has retired. Slushy has retired. So they are the two quali bands. We've got Vu going 5 seconds. Does have a penalty going into this race at the moment. We've got a lot of guys on outlaps. Let's have a look. We've got some intermediates. I will take some on board with someone. We've got... who do you want me to take it on board with for a flying lap?
Take it on board with whoever you feel is in the best position at the moment. I'm just trying to tab open EA Play to get Tazio into the lobby, so give me a moment.
Hang on, let me just do this as well. I'm trying to do it all as well. Just read the chat would be the great idea. Okay. Right, so who do we jump on board with? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. We've got Calco, Hennessy, Noah, or Rossi. Who do we jump on board with?
Yeah, let's go with Hennessy there. I think I want to see how he bounces back from the situation in the sprint race. We did get some information that his wheel did DC. So I was correct in my assumption that it was not his gamepad. It was definitely his steering wheel controller life in 26. I might need to invest in getting a wheel. Let's jump on board with Hennessy and see how he goes in this lap of the Shanghai International Circuit. Is going to be a very, very different approach in the rain up against going into the sprint. It does look like he is a lot off that inside curb. Probably being a little bit cautious, as if you clip that inside curb, you can easily spin on that and absolutely ruin your lap time and even ruin the guys behind you if the situation worsens for yourself. Nice and tidy going into the mini straight here, using a bit of ERS. Looks like it's down to 74%. A little bit off the apex there for Hennessy. Can maybe be a bit aggressive there on his full push lap at the end of qualifying. Sector 2 needs to jump on the anchors for a moment there to try to get the car to turn in. Maybe could try letting the accelerator go and easing that into there, but it is very, very wet on this track so far, so can't be too critical of that approach. Going into finishing off Sector 2 and starting off Sector 3. Hard on the brakes here, turn into the front axle, then very, very careful on the power here, going onto the back straight. Very important to get the power down in the right moment at the right time so you can optimize that pace all the way down the back straight here. Burning the RS all the way down in Sector 3. Popping open that DRS. No, you won't because it is raining. My apologies. And heading down to the 100-meter brake board just before then. Hard on the brakes, turn it in, nice and easy. Getting on the accelerator, try not to make those wheels spin too much. Very, very important to get the traction down nice and gently. Nice corner cut there to get the pace down. And he will finish a lap here in Shanghai in P5, 1:47.9 for Hennessy. As Calco will take pole position provisionally at the moment. Great lap from Calco.
Yeah, good start for most of these guys. Obviously, we're going to probably see these guys drive probably 2 or 3 laps on the intermediates, getting those tyres up to temp, so they will set faster times because you want to do the first lap, just said banker, and then burn a little bit of fuel. So go out a little bit more fuel than normal, and then set some. You'll definitely improve on your times because the track will get warmer, and your tyres will be up to temp. So keep an eye out. You'll probably see these guys do 2 to 3 laps. They've still got a long way to go. 11 minutes in this quali. We do have Tazio in, so thank you very much, Kaz, for doing that. Rise looks like is out of this race. Just hearing information into the comments. His PlayStation has gone kaboom. Really, really sorry to hear that, mate. Sometimes it is always good to have a fan near it. It does need to cool it down. If you leave it in
I think it's
confined space, she can blow, as we say.
Yeah, I'll also say that I hope you're all happy and healthy and safe, and there's no damage to the internals of your household, and that you are all in a safe place, and the fire brigade are coming in to clean up the situation nice and early as possible, mate. So condolences to your PlayStation as well. I feel for you.
I would definitely feel weird, especially with Alpine, the situation they've been at. They've relying on one guy now who is a reserve driver, has raced a few times. I'm going to jump on board for a flying lap with Tazio when he gets underway. We're still having wet conditions. Is this going to be another situation like yesterday, where we saw it being wet, but then it looked like it was going to dry? They know, we don't. So if you've got any comments you want to let us know, then feel free to fire it out and let us know. Calco has done 2 laps on those inters. He's done a 46.965. He's actually invalidated, so that is not what he wants. So he'll probably be coming back in, or unless he's got enough fuel to go in there. We've got the 2 Hasses in P3 and P4. So the 2 Mercedes, Nishka's on an outlap at the moment. Brian's on an outlap, so they haven't really set their pedigree pace at the moment. We've got a time from Abhishek, so he's not probably impressed there. Mane, you now taking pole position. We are going to see this change quite a lot. I know that for a fact. Tazio is about to come round, so I'm going to take you on board flying lap of China. So get ready. But we will see this grid order change dramatically within the situation of this weather. But here we go, on board Tazio, the only Alpine driver left on the grid tonight. Unfortunately, Rise is out, cannot go AI. Well, he will go AI, but he cannot take control to retire, so he is going to be on track, so just be careful, everyone. Right, going into turn 1, you can see it does look like, no, I was just about to say, has it stopped raining? It's still spinning a little bit. Could it dry up before the end? 8 minutes to go. Very, very nicely there so far, keeping it nice and clean. It looks like it's not raining in some areas. In some areas it is raining, so could we see the slicks? It's looking likely we could see the slicks, because I'm seeing no rain in this sector at the moment, so this is going to be an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see who ends up putting them soft compound tyres on. Gets onto the curb there on a little bit of gravel. It is burning, not burning too much of the ERS, probably trying to set a banker just to see what he can do. We know that he's got the pace. A lot of spotlight on this driver tonight for Alpine, as he is now the last driver to try and score points with a very, very competitive grid, so no pressure. Dutch Verstappen taking pole with a 1:45.924, so that could still mean Inters for the next couple of minutes. We'll still have to wait and see if anyone does go on those lovely red tyres on those softs, but it still could be a little bit too damp up there. Very nicely done so far in Sector 2. Got a lot of ERS to burn down this main straight, and it looks like there is no DRS enabled either. Let's have a look. Are we going to see that enabled? No, we're not, so it's still wet. I'm just waiting to see their DRS. Oh, actually, is that the wing open? It is. No, it's not. No, it's not. My apologies. So no DRS enabled, probably in the next couple of laps it might be, or a couple of minutes. We'll have to wait and see. Does get a little bit slidey coming out of that last corner before the last corner for the straight. What's it going to be here? He's really fighting that car, putting as much as he can. He's going to be putting into the 46s. He does set a 1:46.4655. Sorry, my apologies. I need glasses. I wear glasses. Thank you very much, Matty. On my screen, it looks like it's dry. I don't know if you're seeing the same thing, unless I need glasses or bigger glasses. Is it dry? Is it raining still?
I think Sector 1 does seem a lot drier than the rest of the track. I will agree with you there. But I think that oh wow, Teo is going to bin it in his in lap. But anyway, yeah, it definitely is getting drier from what I can see. The line is starting to come through a little bit, and it does seem like that the track is evolving. I think with that lap time there from Tazio, we could tell that there was a little bit of time there left on the table, and he ended up in P6. And it looks like we've got some shocking news here. We've got some fellas that are looking to go out on the slick compound tyres. First game individuals looks to be Cristiano and Matty, and it looks like Karubi looks to be selecting those soft tyres as well, and they'll attempt to go on a lap on those slicks in a moment's notice. There we go. So the track is definitely evolving as people start to finish more and more of their laps. Hardy at the moment looks to be the individual who is your provisional pole sitter on a 45.3, so has evolved very quickly over the last 5 minutes here, SJ, and I think we'll start to see the rest of the field start to jump on those slick tyre compound going into the latter minutes of qualifying.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm being told I need to wear glasses. Marzi, you won't need to wear glasses, my friend, because we're seeing soft compound tyres. So it is dry. Yes, it is dry. Yeah. I needed to double check because I was seeing it was raining in some areas, Cows, and then it wasn't in other areas. And this game sometimes does these things to you and causes a little bit of a kerfuffle, and it looks like it's raining and it's not raining. It's very, very similar to your race last night. It was raining, and then you all of a sudden decide to go on to the hard compound tyres, which was like, what? But yeah, who am I to have a go or whatever? I'm just a commentator, so there we go.
Well, last night we all had the information that we knew that it was starting to go dry just as the safety car was called out, so that's why we the entire grid went to the hard compound, because it was just a no-brainer. The safety car was going to be out for a decent amount of time, so yeah, the majority of the grid went onto those slick compounds. So I did argue with my TP last night about that. I said, mate, we could be on for a win here. Don't stitch me up, yeah.
Mate.
And he said, mate, You're a Div 5 driver. Don't say, don't, yeah, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, yep, copy, no worries there, copper. I'll just do as you said, and yeah, we got the victory. I'll just remind you once again. Got the victory. Come on, fire up. Anyway, we're here watching Division 3, not Division 5. So looks like a lot of the fellas are going to switch over to those slick tyre compounds. I think we'll see the times maybe even go into the 139s, dare I say it, as the track will evolve very, very quickly. Maybe even lower than that, depending on how much grip these guys can get out of those tyres. Looks like there's an individual still on track. Looks like it's your boy CJ. I think they might be coming in for an in-lap though, or maybe he's on a flyer, I think, at the moment.
He's running low on fuel, so let's just look at his Sector 2 time at the moment, see if there's an improvement. He is at pole position at the moment with 1:43. No, he's definitely going to be coming in.
Yeah, he's not burning ERS. He's just coming in for an in-lap to get on some new boots. I don't know if he'll get around in time. I think he'll have to just stick with the time that he's got then, because it's very, very late. Unless he's got enough fuel to go another round.
Yeah,
he'll have to settle for the. Yeah, I think he's going to have to settle for what he's got so far.
Well,
but see how that pans out.
Get your popcorn ready, because this is going to be very interesting. We've seen a lot of mixtures of people with times there. You can see 45s, 43s. So CJ has obviously done a fantastic time at 1:43. Everyone's in the 45s, 46s, and 47s. It's going to be very, very close to see if he gets the job done and does be able to get out. He's going to need around about 1:40, so keep an eye on him. We're seeing a few people come out now. These times are going to change very, very quickly. And whoever's last, I would say, could be pole position if they get it right, because they are going to have a big, big advantage here. This is going to be the question. There's going to be a lot of cars out on track, as you can see it now. Look, they're all coming out from Tyler all the way around into that turn number 1. As you can see, them all coming out the pits. This track is going to be very, very busy. And I'm on board with CJ. He's got 1:48. Are the Kick Garage going to be able to get him out? Because he looks like he could come out right behind the Ferrari of... looks like it could be... No, it's going to be Rossi. So can he get out? We're seeing him. DRS is enabled, so that's even bad news for CJ if he doesn't get out. And I don't think he is, because it's 1:28. No, he's not. He's not going to get out. So he is done. So that might as well retire, because you are not going to get round, my friend. Even if you try. And there's a few guys in there that decided not to come out. Obviously, Rise is the other driver that's decided not to come out as well. So, due to obviously with his situation done. But, this is going to be spicy, Cows. I've got no way to call this, because is that track... Is it good for softs? That's going to be the question. So, we're going to jump on board the first car, which is going to be, it looks like it will be AU. So I'm going to jump on with him, and we'll see if he's going to make any time up. So I'll let you take this one away.
Thank you very much, SJ. I'm very interested to see if CJ can get around in time. He has decided to come out on track after all.
He's got no chance.
But I'll be... Yeah, I don't think so either. But who knows? He might know some crazy corner cuts that we don't know about that he can get away with. So... We'll see how the qualifying pans out. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gents. There's going to be a very, very spicy mix-up as we're going into the final stages of qualifying. On board with Matty AU, and he does do a purple sector for himself in the first sector, but it looks like someone has taken that away from him. We're going to see how he negotiates this Sector 2 time. Does ride that curb very aggressively there. It's where you need to pull out all the stops and make as much time as possible here in qualifying for the Grand Prix. Has a lot of ERS to use, needs to start burning it up. And he is deciding to go down to about 80%, hard on the brakes, turn left, see if he can get that around. Very, very careful on the accelerator here. Try to get the power down, get those gift shears in place, pop the ERS and straighten up for the back straight here. Matty AU does have a lot of ERS in the tank to burn up. Might have probably been better off using a lot more during his final lap. We'll see how he ends up finishing up here in qualifying. Going around the penultimate corner there, the hairpin, 35% of ERS left in the tank. Past the 100-meter brake board, 50 meters brake, turning in. Doesn't invalidate. They're very close though. Pop the DRS just as you pass the line, and a 38.9 is your benchmark time at the moment.
There we go. So we got the rest of the guys coming through now. This is going to be very, very quick, and we are going to see these guys move around. Mediayu takes pole position at the moment. But what, I'm trying to get on board with someone. We've got Calco now then takes pole. Who's next? We've got, it looks like it's the McLaren of Dutch Verstappen, and then it's Nishka behind him. What's Dutch going to do? Is he going to be able to take it from Calco? Let's have a look. Yes, he does. What about Nishka? Yes. Nishka then takes pole position. Who's next? Oh, someone's gone off. That's Wogjet has lost it on the final corner. Oh, it's insane here. What about Rossi? He's the last car. Does he take pole position? No, he doesn't. P8, and there you go. Mercedes are on 1-3, and they've done it again. This time they didn't do it in the sprint, but they've done it in the feature. And there you go. And I thought Rossi would have had a really good opportunity and advantage there, but Wogjet spinning across the line on the last corner. And look at that. You've seen a complete different change there from Dutch to Hennessy. So Hennessy now in the P6 and Dutch in the P2. These are your classification results for quali going into the feature. Nishka and Dutch and Brian taking P1, 2, and 3, both Mercedes and P1 and P3. Then Calco, Maniayu, Hennessy, Dazio, Rossi, Karubi, Noahuni, Hadigo, Tyler, Not Kim, Daz, it's your boy, Wogjet, Abhishek, Slushy, Rise, and Spud Muffin. Red Bulls, what happened there? One obviously was retired, but Abhishek not even setting a time on the softs and has put himself way down the pecking order compared to where he was in the sprint. Chaos. Drama here for Division 3.
Yeah, a lot of change-ups, and I think that those Red Bulls might have just invalidated when they've gone to push on their final laps there. So a little bit heartbreaking from them, as they had a very strong qualifying in the sprint, and of course they had a great start in the sprint as well. Hopefully they can make hopefully they can make up some positions in the Grand Prix. We have seen some rain fall onto the Grand Prix in the last few races and rounds and divisions of this current round. So we might see some rain in the end as well for the Grand Prix. But it could be a really, really successful weekend for the Mercedes fellas. Nishka in P1, Brian in P3, and I think it was Dutch Verstappen that'll be splitting those two Mercedes. We'll see how this start kicks off. I'll leave it over to you, SJ, in your capable hands to kick us off here in the start of the Grand Prix.
Yes, here we go. So we've got bright skies, but that could change later on in this race. We've got no messages yet or no comments coming in to say that we are going to have a wet race. 44 people tuning in for the last race of the week. Get some more people involved. Let's get to the big 5-0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for Division 3 feature race at China. The last one before city season opens in about 3 hours. But here we go. Nishka leading the way from turn 1 and leads the way perfectly. We've then got Brian in P3 as well. Does anyone make a move on the Mercedes? Yes, they do. Calco sends it on the outside, gets shut down though, but then tries to go all the way round. He's then being attacked by the Mercedes Aston Martin of Mediayu. Sorry, I got my words mixed up. Rossi is thinking he's going to go very, very long on them softs, so he's going to be very quick. But we've got a bit of drama there as Calco does get the move on Brian. But does Brian have a bit of damage? I'm just trying to have a look there on Brian's car. No, he's all good. He is intact there. And Rossi, someone gone off. Daz has been given a 10-second. There's a lot of stuff going on at the back, which we'll jump on board with in a second. But let's go down to the back as Daz has gone off and Not Kim has gone off, and that has brought out a VSC. Only on lap 1, and P19 and P20 are all the way down there with some significant damage. Very unfortunate, but what a start. Brian down into P4. Calco getting the job done up into P3. He's looking very pacey tonight. What can Rossi do, though, on these soft compound tyres?
A lot of elbows being put out nice and early from Calco and Brian. Great little battle there. Kept it nice and clean and Calco, a lot of cojones to get in the inside there and to get that move done on Brian into the third turn there here in Shanghai. Looks like not Kim in once again, running into some issues in the race. I think that might be his third incident tonight.
Nishka! Drive-through penalty for Nishka!
Oh,
and he's having to
no.
come straight in and serve it. It's gone from bad to worse for Mercedes. Well, one of those drivers, Brian into P3, sorry, but we've got drama going on here as we've got moves happening. Hennessy and Tyler going side by side. They're going at it as well. We've seen so much going on already, and that is really caused the storm. It's early though, so we still got a massive opportunity to get back into this race, but that is not ideal for Mercedes after having such a great start in the sprint and in qualifying, but they are now down to P17 and P3, and well, there we go. Look how things can change in Formula One like that. Amazing.
Heartbreaking stuff for Nish. My heart goes out to him. It's really, really tight with those VSCs. Do you jump on the ERS? Especially being at the front of the pack, maybe you felt the need to get on the power nice early and try to build a gap to Dutch Verstappen, but ultimately gets it all wrong, and we'll have to serve that drive-through penalty as now he's down in P17. Let's change our attention here to the front of the pack. It does look like Dutch Verstappen will assume the front of the pack at the moment, and will guide everyone down into the penultimate corner here on the hairpin. I think I did see Matty AU did seem have to have a little bit of pace on Brian. Seemed to be struggling at the moment, Brian, in the beginning parts of this race. Had that move done by Calco there into the hairpin. Well done by him to get a move done on Dutch Verstappen to take the lead of the Grand Prix. But can Dutch Verstappen maybe get him back into the start-finish straight? Does look to be very, very far away, and Calco will take over the fastest lap and then taken back by Hennessy as we go into the first turn and see if these guys can negotiate these turns nice and tidy. A little bit of change of position here for P10. Abhishek does seem like he got the move done on Hadi the Goat. Looks like he's also under pressure from CJ as well as we look for the battle for P11. Will CJ maybe try to get his nose up on the inside here on this turn? Does look like he's going to lunge in there, and that's a great move from CJ if he can get it stuck on the outside. But it looks like, Hadi might get the power down in time, and doesn't look like he's going to get it. CJ is going to lose the position back to Hadi. Great racing here for P11. Needs to tuck back in for Sector 2, and maybe they'll have another run at each other as we go down into the back straight. But great little race there. A great little battle between the Haas and the Kick Sauber for P11. Battles all over the track, SJ.
Yeah, definitely. It's all going on here. These guys are really giving us some entertainment. And if you are joining in with us, obviously Mercedes getting 1-2 in the sprint. Nishka taking pole position, but then getting that drive through and has pushed himself all the way down in P17. Still time. He's still in with a shout, but it is going to be a long race. And currently he is 20 seconds away from the leader from where he was, so he'll be very, very, very frustrated. I know that for a fact. But Brian is holding the fort at the moment in that P3 position, trying to put pressure on Dutch Verstappen. As we see, there's a move going on down at the back there. It looks like it's what's happened here? We've got Nishka and Not Kim and Wojciech. So Wojciech into P16. A little bit of a move going on there. Is Nishka drops down to P17. So it looks like maybe Not Kim got the move done. As Noah's round, Noah Hooney is round, and he's lost it into turn 1, so he's going to drop all the way down into P13. Moves happening left, right, centre. Do have a little bit of a gap though. Karubi to Tyler is 1.4 seconds, and then behind him he's got Abhishek. But Abhishek having a fantastic race from where he started to where he is now, making up 8 spots. So great job from him. Slushy doing the fastest lap as well. Down there in P19 has not been able to make his way through the pack at the moment. Still a long way to go in this race, as we have seen. But look at that, we have a DRS train from P7 all the way up to P1. But Dutch Verstappen needs to be careful because Calco is nearly 8.5 tenths, and he's coming around the corner now. He's 8 tenths. He needs to be careful because Yeah, Calco seems to have some serious speed in that V-Cup tonight. But here we go. We're going to have some DRS all the way. No one really making a move. Noah Hooney has left the session. If you could get him back in, that would be amaze balls. Kaus, message him in Div3 chat. That'd be fantastic. Then we're going to drop a little bit further down as Spud Muffin and Honey Goat are going at it. Keeping it in. Abhishek is in that P9 spot at the moment. He's putting pressure on Karubi, but it's Spud Muffin and Hoodie Goat. They're going at it. And yeah, gets the move done. Spud Muffin up into P10. It's your boy JC or CJ down into P12. Karubi loses out to Abhishek. Abhishek up to P8. We know he's got the pace here, Kals. We saw it earlier on. Karubi going very wide as well. And Abhishek is going to be joining Tyler 1.5 seconds away. So if he can bring in Tyler and then he can start putting it on Hennessy, he's back in with a shout of getting a podium tonight. Which, yeah, fantastic race from the man, Mr. Sheck.
Yeah, fantastic racing so far. I'll give a quick shout out also to the fellas down in P9 to P10. I think when I was on board, I did see there was a little battle there for P11 during that race. So great stuff from them. They were jostling for position and it looked all nice and clean, but very important moves that were getting done there in P10 and P11. But I'll try my best to get Hennessy in. Give me just a moment, and I'll. Sorry, Hooney. My apologies.
No, you're good. You're good. I'll let me know when he's in, and we'll bring you back in to the comms. Brian getting very close to Dutch Verstappen. Dutch Verstappen getting close to Kelco, but no move is going to be done here on lap 5, or is it? Brian thinks about it, doesn't make the move, stays in formation. He does not want to be damaged in that front wing. He wants to just stay where he is. He's in a great position. This is unlike Brian. He hasn't been in this position for quite some time. He's in it tonight. He's got some serious points he could score for Mercedes. We know that Alpine are not going to score massive points tonight, so there's massive points up for grabs for these teams to try and pull in Alpine for the overalls as Dutch gets very close to Calco. We've got moves happening here, left, right and centre. We've got Abhishek 1.2 back from Tyler, so he's trying to pull him in a little bit further down. We've got Nishka that's got the job done on Vu, and he's up into P15. He's in the point, only 1 point as it stands at the moment. He's now trying to make a move on Wogjet for P14. I know we're talking about P14, but P14 is still points here, and he is pushing on. He's on the mediums, and yeah, he has just surfed the drive through. He hasn't changed his tyres. The only person I think that's changed his tyres could be Daz or Slushy. We'll have to wait and see. I'll just look at stops there. Let's have a look. Yeah, there you go. Rossi, Slushy, and Daz have all decided to pit. So they've changed their tyres. They are a long way away. So they're going to need a safety car to probably get back into this race, or unfortunate events happen in front of them. Nishka putting the pressure on Wogjet at the moment, but he has then got Noah Hooney, who's AI, and which is not helping Wogjet at all, and he'll probably look to make the move down the DRS straight, and will hopefully want to get the move done if AI is not OP down the straights. Oh, drama there as we see one of the cars go, and that looked like that was not Kim. So not Kim's made a big mistake there, and he's had a bit of a spin, and more drama there. And as we see Honey and It's Your Boy JC, they're going at it as well. There is battles left, right and centre. Wojciech gets the move done on Hooney. Nishka gets the job done as well on the AI. Ooh, nice little battle there between the AI and Nishka. Gets the job done up in a P14. Okay, Gauss, do we have Noah Hooney back in? Let me have a look at DRS.
Yeah, I've sent him a few invites, so hopefully he'll be able to get into the lobby and take control of his car as soon as possible. I will make some comments. Unfortunately, Kimin, once again, finding some issues, and not to forget for him, might need to just have another, maybe he's looking ahead for the silly season break and might need it after tonight, because he's had some few incidents tonight, and hopefully he can clean it up for the remaining laps of the Grand Prix. We'll need to get the move done on the AI, which he does finally get by. Noah, as we're trying to get him to get back in as soon as possible, so that he can take control of his car again. Calco, driving at the front once again, has shown some very, very serious pace tonight. Getting the move done on Brian nice and early, capitalising, of course, on Nishka's unfortunate drive-through penalty, and then, of course, making that move into the hairpin on Dutch Verstappen to take the lead of the Grand Prix so far here in Division 5 in Shanghai. See if he can maybe close it out. There's still a lot of laps to go until we get into the pit window and start to see some tyre changes and the strategy get implemented here. Dutch Verstappen does seem to be closing in a little bit here on Calco. Maybe could be running those higher wings in comparison to Calco, which is why he's able to make a lot of time in that Sector 1 and maybe even see him gain some time in Sector 2. But it looks like he's given an opportunity here for Brian to maybe have a go at him. Probably highly unlikely we see a move here in Sector 2 though, but you never know. Maybe might be feeling a move here to see if he can suss out Dutch Verstappen into the back straight. Quick little shout out to Abhishek, up 10 positions from his initial starting position. Great race so far. Can he continue that into the later stages of the race?
Big spin in front. Tazio's lost it into Sector 2. He's dropped down into P8, so I don't know if he's done that on his own or not, but we are driving on board with Abhishek, requested by Dur. And Abhishek saw that, so did Hennessy, so did Many AU, so a little bit of drama. Sorry to interrupt there, Cows, but yeah, a little bit of drama there, and Tazio now down into 8th. Abhishek is in the DRS of this battle, and yeah, this is a great drive from him as we're just about to finish on board, and I'm going to jump back on board with you, Cows, as Dutch is into the pits on lap 7. So he's not pushed those tyres any further. He feels that he's going to go for the undercut. Interesting strategy there from McLaren, Cows.
Yeah, that's super early in my opinion. I think he might feel the pain of having those hards in the latter stages of the race. This is quite a high tyre wear track. It really is deceiving, because if you're not able to keep those tyres in the window and maintain that grip, you're gonna feel it at the end of the race. So very, very, very interesting decision here from Dutch Verstappen. I hope it works out for him, but I'm not so sure. But you know, could be cast as curse. We can see how the rest of the race and the rest of the pack decide to make up their tyre strategies, as it looks like we might see... he's the only individual that's actually stopped in this pit window, actually, SJ.
Yeah, very, very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out. His teammate Hennessy continues on those 8 laps, and I really think he needs to push around about lap 12, because he looks like he could be doing another stop after his normal stop, which is on those hards. They're not going to the end. I don't think they're going to the end, so we have to wait and see. As we do have moves going on down here, as Brian is about to try and take the lead of the Shanghai Grand Prix. Calco tries to hold on the left, Brian takes on the right, he locks his brakes, Calco goes around the outside, does he get the grip? Brian and Calco are going to go side by side, but Brian's got the job done, and he's into P1. And I'm sure the Mercedes fan club in here tonight are going to go mad on that, as Hennessy has dropped down into P6. Both McLarens coming in.
SJ has ERS is going to go for a bit of turn 1.
Ooh, just saw that. Sorry, I was just jumping on board with Hennessy, as both McLarens have decided to come in. So Dutch going on lap 8 and Hennessy going on lap 9. So McLarens are thinking of something a little bit different here. And that now brings Abhishek coming to P4. Matty AU, what a drive he's having here tonight in China, up into the P3, and fantastic drive from him. And they're all in the DRS train of Calco, and well, Matty AU is nearly out of it. He needs to try and hold on. Looks like he could lose it now, as Calco has pulled away. He's got Abhishek for company at the moment. So Matty AU could be in a little bit of trouble coming down that last main straight in Sector 3. We've got 18 laps remaining to go. And Connor is absolutely going mad in the chat. Love to see it. Love the passion for Mercedes. And really good to see. But at the moment, this race is not over. Anything can happen. Nishka is now all the way up in the P11. So great drive from him after what's happened earlier on, and that's what I'm saying. Things can change. Look at Albashek where he started. Look where Nishka was where he started as well. Albashek is now going to try and get the move done on Lady AU, but I think he might get it done. Let's have a look. Lady AU's got some serious pace in that Aston Martin. No change at the front. Albashek is coming. He doesn't go for a move. He goes slow there, but we've got moves going on behind as Spud Muffin gets overtaken by Tazio. Spud Muffin comes back for the switch. Does he get the move done? You do not want to be going side by side there, and Spud Muffin does get the job done. Oh, look at this!
Oh my
look at that! Absolute drama
What is going
there.
on?
And that's brought a safety car out. Oh my god!
Oh my.
What has happened there?
Have you seen anything like that, SJ? Both the Alpine and the Williams dive into the pits and drive straight into the
and then
wall
he gets
ahead of them.
another 10.
Oh,
And then drive through. So it's 20 seconds
going
in the
on?
drive through. Oh my days. Alpine's night could not get even worse.
Ladies and gents, we're on lap 11, and there's so much going on in this race.
Oh, there is.
I've just hit the pit window with a safety car, so you will more than likely see every single car decide to change their boots for the latter stages of the race. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Abhishek has driven fantastically well, but will need to probably duck into the pits to change those boots.
He's going to take pole.
Well,
because he's got 8 seconds to Huddy. Calco is 9 seconds behind it, so that's around about 18 seconds. He's under a safety car, so he's going to get slowed down by the Delta. Calco is. So Albashek could be coming out here in pole position on a set of Huds. This is just
this
worked
is a
out
great
a treat
situation
for them, but I don't know what happened there, and that is massive. And obviously it's you got to turn. You got to turn when you go into the pits. That's the problem. He didn't turn. He just went straight in. And Paul Spudmuffin. That is But I'll tell you something. This is massive. This is massive for Nishka. After the race he's had, he's now in a massive opportunity. He's on fresh hards. He's got Rossi on 9-lap hards, which I'm sure will probably... He's going to have to do something, unless he's got another set of hards go to the end. But yeah, look, here we go. Look, Abhishek coming in. Huddy coming in. Calco coming around. Calco could take the lead here. Let's have a look. Abhishek is about to come out. Cuddy go. There we go. Calco. Abhishek. Calco is going to take the lead, and I think Abhishek could... Oh, this is going to be close. No, he's not. He's going to fall down to P5. So he'll be happy with that. He'll be happy with that. But look at this. Tyler now up into P4. Matty AU basically where he was before. Brian back up into P2. So not much has changed there between the top three. Because I think that's exactly the same. Well, there's a bit of a change. Look, 3, 1, and 2, and 8. And Albashek up 12 spots. So what a race he's having.
Yeah, I think...
Look at McLaren.
Yes. Yeah, they've done fantastically well. Sorry to cut you off there, Ashay. I think Abhishek has lost a position from the pits. I think he was fighting Matty for P3, and now he does have Tyler in between him and Matty, so he does need to gain that position back when the safety car does come in. But yeah, McLaren's, after having a tussle in the sprint race earlier on tonight, seem to be keeping it nice and clean into the Grand Prix race. They seem to be in a really, really strong position. Looks like that early pit stop that they decided to do has worked out wonders for them. For the safety car to come in at that point in time that it did has put them back in contention, to potentially fight for positions up the field. So, great race from them. Also a shout out to the Haas drivers here, Karubi and Huddy. Huddy has done a fantastic job so far. I do think, though, the medium compound tyre with 16 laps to go of regular Grand Prix racing might be a bit of a stretch, but we can maybe see if it works out for him. Maybe the safety car might go around for a few more laps. It does seem to be going around once again this lap, so see how that goes into the latter stages of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just a little bit speechless on what we've seen. We've seen so much drama happening. And, it's been great racing. Obviously, the sprint, we saw a little bit of drama at the end there, which changed the lineup and changed the finishing order. We've seen a lot going on here. We've seen the drive-through with Mishka. We've seen, obviously, Vu have a lot of problems tonight. We've seen Daz obviously got involved in an incident. We've seen Noah lose connection. Rise unfortunately is out of this race. He's just AI, so he'll be DSQ'd unfortunately. And then you've got obviously Spud Muffin in Tazio as well, which was just brought out the safety car now. So a lot has been going on as well. But yeah, it's the battle of the teams at the moment. It's the battle of the two Hasses in 8 and 9, and the two McLarens in 6 and 7. So McLaren really stepping it up in the last couple of weeks of Vegas and here tonight. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. We're hearing at some of the.
Sorry to cut you off here, SJ, but can you just repeat the positions of the McLaren again for me, please?
6 and 7.
Thanks very much.
Ah, not that rubbish. Oh God, I'm not 15 years of age, man, and I don't. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Lovely job. Anyway, while we're on the safety car and Kaos is having enough at my expense, we are on our last race of the break week. This is obviously Division 3. There is no reserve program this Thursday, so enjoy it. Have time with your family, friends, whatever you need to do. Go out clubbing, go out pubs, whatever. F1 is about to start. Obviously, practice, I think, starts tomorrow, so it's great to have it all back. Race is on Saturday. The quali is on Saturday, then the race is on the Sunday. So, yeah, feel free to jump in on the Discord and do the watch-alongs as we used to do for the last season. So feel free to do that. If you want to watch it with the guys in the Discord, then feel free. It's going to be a fantastic... Can't wait for the race, to be honest with you. Can't wait to see what the cars have got, the new regulations, everything. It's going really going to be really exciting. Also, after this race, we'll be interviewing the guys, and then silly season opens at midnight. So this is where the crunch time is. Silly season is going to go on for a week, and then it's going to finish on the Wednesday. We have the silly season stream on the Thursday, and then we will be having the reserve program, which will be kicking off at Jeddah. So if all of you Division 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 have the opportunity and want to get involved, then by all means, get involved. We've had 17 drivers join in the last 2 days, which has been massive. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these new guys jumping in some of the cars. Some obviously from America and some from Aussie, which is really good to see. So put your name down, get signed up, and get amongst it for the remainder of the season. And then we kick it off again with Division 1 at Jeddah in 1 week's time, which is going to be very exciting. And what a track to come back to as well. Narrow walls and a lot of places to fast overtakes, Cass.
Yeah, a lot of high-octane action that'll be going on in Jeddah in a few weekends' time. Do you have any plans for this weekend, SJ? You got anything scheduled coming up for the break week during silly season?
I'm still going to be busy with the league.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you know my plans.
I will. I'm going to have a bit of a break. I'm going to relax. I'm going to obviously, I love my football, so I'm going to be tuning in and watching the football tomorrow. I've got a directors meeting tonight, which we're going to go over a few things. And then obviously get with the graphics designer, start planning all the rumours and all the breaking news. Putting that all together for the stream next week. And then after that, just keep, updating the graphics, updating the rumour mill, getting the guys involved. We heard today that some of the guys want to do socials. Anyone can do socials. If you want to do a check-in, talk to the directors, talk to Lamb. If there's anything else you want to do like it was a thing called like Destruction Derby or something that was a bit of fun. You can do that. Just organise it yourselves, man. You don't need us. You don't need the directors. You can just create something, put 2 thumbs up, and get people involved. That's what it's all about. But if you want to have a break, refresh, review, or to do a little bit of practice, then feel free to do a bit of practice. But no, I will be watching the Grand Prix, and I will be watching football tomorrow morning as well. So, yes, on that note, we are going green, and Calco has decided to go very early, and he's gone, and he nearly missed the first corner because he went so fast, and someone's already missed the corner, and Albashek's gone very wide, so have a few other guys as well. And, a few guys caught sleeping there, unfortunately, on the restart. Brian was a little bit slow on that. He's caught back up to Calco into turn 1 though, but really good to see there. and Mario Yu as well. So nothing has changed at the moment. I'm going to go through the grid order, and then I'm going to take it on to Cows. We're on lap 15 at the moment. Calco in P1, Brian in P2, Mario Yu are your top three. Tyler in P4, Abhishek, then Dutch, then Hennessy, and Karubi, and Hadi, and Ichibui, CJ in 10. Then Nishka in P11, Wojciech P12, Tazio P13 with that penalty, Spud Muffin, then not him known as Vu, Rossi in 16th, Sashi in 17th, Daz in 18th, Rise in 19th, well now 20th, as he has been overtaken by Noah Hooney, as his car is AI. That are your leading grid at the moment. Back to you, Cass.
Thank you very much, SJ. We're going to be jumping on board with this front of the pack and see how it all shakes out at the end. I think my eyes are going to be nice and peeled on Abhishek. Can he get the move done on the Sauber of Tyler to try to get that position back that he had previously before the safety car restart? Not going to look like he's going to be in a position to try to make an overtake in this time around. It looks like there is a switch for the Haas drivers at the moment. They seem to be jostling for P8 here at the back straight. See if maybe Karubi can try to fight back into Huddy, or if maybe that was potentially planned, as they do look like they're going to be under pressure from CJ as well. Huddy with a 3-second time penalty from going off the track. That's not what you want to see after you just swap places on the lap before. That's really unfortunate stuff, and CJ looks like he's going to try and get really racy here with Karubi. Gets on the inside there of turn number 1, gets the power down on the outside. What a great move from CJ. Doesn't stick around. Oh, Karubi does hit the inside of his side pod, and he's going to quickly turn that into a very expensive lawnmower, tossle down the field, and we'll jump back on the track safely there in P12. CJ, decent move from him. A little bit of jostling for position there between the Haas and the Sauber, but all comes out at the end, and CJ takes P9 as it stands. Let's jump on board with the front of the pack and see how they're negotiating these next few corners going into the back straight here in Shanghai. Really want to keep my eyes peeled here, and Abhishek does seem like he's closed that gap a little bit, as it seems to be Slushy making a position up on Rossi in the background there. But let's keep our eyes peeled here on Abhishek, see if he can get a move done in to the hairpin. Again, doesn't seem like he's that far away, and Tazio with a 3-second time penalty as well. What is going on in this Grand Prix, ladies and gents? It's all going on. He might have DC'd. I'm not too sure. He's behind his teammate, who we know is an AI at the moment. So
no, he's served the 10.
Really bizarre from him.
He served the 10.
Yeah, right. Right, understood. No worries. Let's keep our eyes peeled on the front of the pack here once again. Abhishek, Tyler, and Matty seem to be jostling here for P3. Seems to be a bit of a gap now for the front guys, as Calco seems to be putting in a little bit of time to try to pull away from Brian. And Matty AU does seem to be getting reined in from Tyler and Abhishek. Again, you really don't want to be fighting too much on this track, as you will lose lots of time to the guys behind you. And Nishka makes a move onto CJ to get up into P9. Does get a little bump from CJ, just to let him know that he's still there and about. But Nishka's made the move done nice and cleanly, and will continue to drive up back the pack. Might be able to get that move done onto the Haas as well later on to the race, as he will be on the harder compound here, SJ.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, Spud Muffin goes a little bit slow, and Vu goes straight into the back of them, and he's hit the back of the Williams. Vu is not having a good night tonight. And Slushy in that P15 now. He's in the points, but he's got no front left side, so he's a bit of a struggle. He is going to get onto the DRS of Vu as well, and they're both in the same position. So this should be quite an even match, for both of those cars. Back up to the front, though, we are going to see, because Calco and Brian are going side by side for the lead of this Grand Prix. Brian, has he got it? No, he hasn't. Calco keeps the lead. He was 1.2 seconds back from him about a couple of laps ago, so Brian has really pulled him in, and he's also pulling everyone else in as well. So even though he's gone, and he's going to go for the move, no, he doesn't, but he's trying to try and go on the outside, as Calco locks the door and says no, as Gandalf says in Lord of the Rings, you shall not pass. As we say, Mediayu is in P3 at the moment. He is really waiting for one of these guys to make a mistake so he can capitalise, but at the moment, he is doing a great job. He's got Tyler for company as well, and Albashek is in the mix of that as well. As Albashek goes for a move on Tyler. Oh, there's been a bit of a hit there, and Albashek gets through. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Oh, a bit of a mistake there from Tyler, and I think he hit the back of Melieu, and then Albashek come through and said, "Thank you very much. I'll take that position." Little bit of fighting, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll wait and see what the stewards say at the final checkered flag when this race is done and dusted. So Albashek into P4 with the DRS of Melieu at his company now. He's going to have to wait and see how he's going to go, and this is a great drive from him so far. A little bit further down, bit of a gap between Hadigo and Hennessy, 2.6, but McLaren look like they have just cemented P6 and 7 as it stands at the moment, unless they get involved in this battle at the front with Tyler, Abhishek, Melieu, Brian, and Calco. As Brian goes for a move on Calco for the lead with 10 laps to go. Does he get the move done, Calco? Oh, it's going to be tight. Try and get to the move. Melieu puts his nose in there as well, and he says, I might have a little bit of a go, but Brian takes the lead of this race. But is Calco going to come back at him into turn 1? Let's have a look. Someone goes very, very wide down. Abhishek again going very, very wide. He needs to be very careful because he could lose a penalty or get a penalty. Calco goes on the outside. He's made contact with Brian and pushed Brian into the side, and he's got no front left side. Oh, absolute scenes there. And Albashek says, "Thank you very much. You've got no front right, and I've got a full wing. I'll go around the outside and I'll take P3 drama there." And that will definitely be looked at by the stewards there from Calco. It didn't look like he gave any room there for Brian, and he's gone for the move, but he's made contact, and Brian's now lost his front left, and Brian's going to come under extreme pressure now from Tyler Hennessy Dutch and his teammate.
Yeah, that was very, very adventurous there from Calco, if I do say so myself. Really tried to send it around the outside and was hoping that his front tyres would be able to turn and get the grip. But it almost looked like he turned in too early or didn't anticipate the amount of grip that he got, and it just swiped the front of that Mercedes. It looked like Melieu's jostling for position with Abhishek. And Abhishek seems to maybe be able to get the DRS here. Matty might have gotten it if he was just slightly ahead. Slightly behind, sorry, in the DRS, unless, yes, Matty did get the DRS because he was behind Abhishek going into the DRS detection zone, and will use that to defend against Abhishek. We know Abhishek has a lot of pace on this track, was very, very, very competitive in the qualifying sprint, in the sprint race. Did seem like both of those Red Bulls did invalidate their times in the qualifying session for the Grand Prix, but Abhishek up to P3. I think he started it was P17, so fantastic drive so far, but he's really just been capitalizing from the situations that's unfolded in front of him, which is exactly what you want if you're a Grand Prix driver. A lot of endurance here and a lot of quality being displayed here by Abhishek to just keep his nose clean, keep his tyres in the right window, just put himself in the right position to capitalize on the situations that are going ahead of him. Just needs to not get a big head in these situations and just keep it nice and tidy. A P3 position from P17 is fantastic, but he might be licking his lips and might be feeling he can get more in this Grand Prix. Has been fighting Matty very, very hard the last few laps. Was even fighting him before their safety car came in as well, and lap, I think it was 9, 10 or 11, one of those three, sorry. So very, very difficult to overtake here. Melieu might be running a little bit lower wings, potentially could have a little bit more straight line speed into this section of the racetrack. He seemed to have a little bit more ERS as well to play with, Melieu, so maybe he can defend this position. Abhishek will have DRS going into the hairpin, but Melieu does get DRS from Calco, so he will use that to defend. Going into lap 21, there will be 7 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. Can Calco hold on to this P1 position? Will he hold on to the P1 position even if he does finish the race at the end with the steward's investigation potentially with the incident in turn 1 with Brian? It did seem to be very adventurous, if I do say so myself, so we'll see how it all shakes out here at the Shanghai International Circuit. All 3 of the top 3 drivers very nose to tail, touching tips, very close to each other, and it looking like it could potentially go down to the wire here. as we enter the remaining few laps. Seemed to be some really good performance here from Heidi the Goat. There was in P9 previously. I was a bit concerned to see how these mediums will go, so very interesting to see how it will all shake out as we head to the latter stages of the Grand Prix. But he's done fantastically well so far, still holding up with the rest of the pack, still putting in some decent lap times. So, see how that potentially could shake out. It looks like there will be a jostle for position.
Hennessy's gone off, he's
once
dropped
again.
Down. I don't know, he's gone off, and it's going to bring Nishka into the battle now. Nishka's going to get the move done. Does he get the move done? Hennessy's on the right, he's going to get that position back. Nishka just needs to stay behind him, he'll have the DRS. Let's have a look. There we go again. I'm going to jump back on board a bit of Abhishek because I have been watching on board, and Nishka should get the move done here. Abhishek is driving very aggressive. Little bit of a move there into the chicane in Sector 2. He didn't really need to put his nose in there and really gave the position, well, the guy in front no chance, and then pushes his way, like making the corner and, you know, making the corner but then moving over. You need to be making the corner and keeping to your side of the line because that guy has that left-hand side. So I think he's going to have a penalty coming in here. I think Matty AU, I think it's a bit unfortunate there. I think he's been pushed off track. So I think Abhishek is driving quite aggressive and needs to be careful because, yes, it's all right him doing all this, but he ain't going to keep the lead if he's got 15 seconds of penalties, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I have to agree, SJ. I think this track has served to be a bit of a breeding ground for some incidents in the previous divisions I've seen from my experience. So maybe there could have been an incident between the two commentators, but we won't talk about that. Let's move on to the front of the pack. Yeah, I do agree. It does seem like Abhishek is driving very, very... I don't want to use the word aggressively, but he is very optimistic with some of his positioning of his car. Very, very trying to get his nose into places where it probably shouldn't be. Does seem like he outbraked himself there as well a little bit, going into a very crucial part of the track here at the Shanghai International Circuit. So could potentially be getting reined in from Matty, and maybe might lose this P2 position.
Yeah, it just needs to be taking its time. You just take your time, time your manoeuvres, you know, keep to your line, and yeah, you know, and then obviously you won't have any drama. So, but Slushy R, 3 second time penalty down there in P14. We've got Spud Muffin in P11. Nice little battle going on there between Wogjit and CJ as well. There's a lot of battles going on. A really, really good Nightfall kick in P9 and P5. McLaren in P8 and P6. Can Hennessy get that move done on Nishka again? He made a mistake earlier on. Abhishek is ready to pounce on Calco. I'm going to jump on board with this because I just want to see how it's going to be coming at it because he's right on his backside here, but is he going to be able to try and get the move done? Matty AU is flying very, very closely as well. But here we go. He's going to get a very, very good move. 2.5 temps. So he just needs to time it here. And let's have a look. Coming down into the corner. No, stays with him at the moment. So he'll keep staying with him. Matty AU, it's a big DRS train now, isn't it? It's a big DRS train from P1 to P5. So it's going to be very, very difficult for P5, 4, 3 and 2. Well, 3 to get moves done now. But Abhishek is staying with Calco on 1 lap fresher tyres as well compared to anyone in that top 5. So he has got the advantage on the tyres. The question is he going to have the advantage going to the end of this race? Let's have a look here. So this is where he sent it last time. He came in way too deep and just didn't give any room to the other car. So a little bit aggressive there. So far now coming around into the far corner now. We'll have the DRS. Let's see if Calco can pull away. You can see 6.5 temps. Calco's really trying to pull away. Matty AU as well trying to stay with him. But yeah, you can see there he's now harvesting. And let's have a look. See if he does get the move done. It doesn't look like he's going to get the move done. So straight line speed. Straight line speed is a bit of an issue for Abhishek at the moment on that straight. He's going to need around about, I believe, 4 temps coming around into that final corner. Let's have a look here. He's coming into the next DRS zone. 3.5 temps. He should probably get the move done here. He's now going to get onto the DRS. You can see Calco. Does he send it on the left-hand side? Calco's going to hold the left. Abhishek goes to the right. Ooh, he's going to go tight. Does Matty AU try and get into it? No, Calco holds his line there, but Abhishek comes in, tries to get the move. He can't get the move done at the moment. We're going to stay on board one more corner just to see if Abhishek can get the move done. We've got 4 laps of racing remaining. Calco is under extreme pressure now from the Red Bull, and Abhishek is bringing everyone else into this as well, especially Brian with that damage as well. So yeah, at the moment, no moves going on there. Back to you, Cass.
Yeah, there was a bit of an incident there. Brian did overcook it into that turn. Maybe give a bit of an advantage, or an opportunity, I should say, for Tyler to maybe get the position of P4 from Brian. Doesn't seem like he wanted to commit to that one, which is fair enough. Keep it nice and tidy. That's what I like to see. A little bit of game management and race management from Tyler. I think if he was a little bit more opportunistic, he could have maybe got the nose in there. But I do like to see just a little bit of race management there from Tyler. I want to see Abhishek be a little bit more strategic with his ERS in the latter stages of the race. You can see where Calco is popping his ERS. He's burning it down this straight. He's starting to save it here at the latter stages of this back straight. And then he only has around 5 to 10% for this specific start finish. So if Abhishek can stay in that DRS line, save a bit of ERS during the lap, maybe he can get a move done into the start finish straight, because this is where you can maybe get in front, and then he can, you know, that Abhishek has the pace to be able to maybe try to pull away from Calco potentially. So I want to see a little bit of a deviation from Abhishek. What he's been doing hasn't worked. He needs to change it up. 3 laps left to go. This is the time where you throw everything at it. You just try to make those adjustments that can give you that extra 10th or 2 to maybe get into a bit of a battle and try to force Calco into a mistake, force him to second guess his positioning and start to lose time. But you can see the rest of the pack are starting to build up to this front pack. Dutch Verstappen and Nishka do seem to be jostling for that P6 position, but Nishka won't be able to get that done. But looks like to be in a very strong position to potentially get that P6 away from Dutch Verstappen going into the back straight. We'll keep a close eye on that, but I still want to keep my eyes peeled onto this front pack. How are they going to be able to negotiate these last few corners? Again, I feel like Abhishek using too much ERS. And
he's close.
Yeah, Calco does seem to be a lot lower than he was last lap, so potentially could be using it. But from what I can see, Calco is using it as he's coming out onto the straight versus to when...
Sorry, Foos round down in P15. Doesn't look like we see a safety car, but Abhishek's gone for a move. Oh, there's been a bit of a touch there. I don't know if that was Calco or Abhishek, but Abhishek is in the lead, and Calco now down into P2. So sorry, Kals, to interrupt, but now Abhishek is going to come under extreme pressure from Calco into turn 1. He may have to relinquish it. He's going to relinquish the position. He's going to have to let him go. Maria Yu's going to get involved in this as well, and it's going to have to do it all again. Oh, Calco goes wide there. Abhishek tries to cut the corner and try to stay with him. He doesn't get the job done. Nishka does, and Nishka and Hennessy are going at it as well. But he's in a McLaren sandwich, and he just cannot get through. But does he go around the outside? Yeah, he's trying his hardest, and Hennessy holds the door shut, and Honey just gets a 3-second time penalty. Here's a lot of battles going on here, which is great to see. Nishka tries to go on the outside. Does he get it? No, he doesn't. And Hennessy holds the position. Back to you, Kals, again. Oh, great driving at the front, in the midfield, at the back. It's all going on.
Yeah, there's so much going on in this Grand Prix tonight, SJ. I'll also just say, for those that were keeping tabs on Huddy, he did have to pit for those softs. He's 3 laps in, seems to be struggling. Doesn't look like that strategy has paid dividends for him, unfortunately. Will not look like he'll be able to get into the points unless he can set some blistering laps in the latter stages of the race. Back on board with this front pack, because this is some cinema level Grand Prix racing from these front 3. And even Brian to even stick around into this battle with that front wing damage shows dividends for his ability. Abhishek might go for another move, does tuck into the outside position, but Calco will have the line into the next position. Almost are coming together there. Abhishek does get the drive out of the line. See how they negotiate into the start-finish. Go a little bit wide from Calco. Might not have got the power down. Does have a little bit of ERS to maybe fight into this turn 1. Tries to switch back. Goes around the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Calco, what did you have for breakfast, son? He's on the inside. Abhishek, can he hold that position? They're fighting it really, really hard. A lot of bumping and grinding between these two. Matty AU says, hello, fellas. I hope you guys have had a fantastic race so far, but I'm here to try to take this pole position, this Grand Prix victory. But Abhishek negotiated turn one fantastically well. A lot of side-by-side action there. Calco really tried to send it on the outside. Really great positioning from Calco and car control to bring that car into that position. Maybe learn from his mistakes with the coming together that he had with Brian on earlier laps here in the Grand Prix. But Abhishek seems to be driving away now with this lead. See how we go into the penultimate lap, and on the penultimate time that we'll be going onto this back straight. Matty AU still there and about. Even Brian as well could potentially see if these two come together. Matty AU, a beneficiary of these two fighting very, very aggressively, but Abhishek pulling so far away on this straight. And it looks like Matty AU is going to have a run at Calco as well. He's going to get that outside. Calco going to need to defend. Very, very aggressive there. They've come together. Matty has gone on the outside of Calco. They've locked tires. They've lost positions. And Brian is up into P2. Tyler is up into P3. Matty eventually gets the move done on Calco, but they lose so many positions into the final laps, SJ.
Yeah, here we go. I'll take the final lap. It's all been kicking off. Abhishek 1.4. Rumours coming in saying he's moved over twice on a defensive move. Karubi's round as well. There's a lot going on here. Abhishek 1.4 could be leading this Grand Prix, but is he going to stick? Is it going to stick? That's going to be the big question for the stewards in Division 3. Brian, though, what a bloody drive from this man. With the damage he's had, can Tyler cause a big upset and get him on the last lap? This is going to be interesting. 9/10 back. He is, I'm going to use the DRS on this one because, and we're going to use the ERS as well. Slushy up into P12. Looks like Rossi's gone off as well. Really unfortunate there. He needs to be careful how he re-enters the track as Tazio is coming into it. But can Tyler get Brian? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. They've got very similar on ERS there. Abhishek looks like he is going to take the win here. We're going to stay on board. These McLarens have caused Nishka a lot of problems. He's not been able to get the job done. Very frustrating night for him because he knows he could have been up there in the top 3 or in top 5. Brian is 1.4 behind. He's not going to be able to get Abhishek. Tyler is 1.2. He's not going to be able to catch Brian. What about Calco and Matty AU? Are they going to have a nice little final dance at the end there? Can Nishka cause some problems for McLaren? No, he can't. It looks like we are going to finish here. Wadjet, though, and It's Your Boy are having a nice little battle. And we've also got Spud Muffin coming in. So I'm going to go straight back up because Abhishek will win the Grand Prix of China. Brian into P2, Tyler into P3, Matty AU into P4, Calco into P5, and then you've got Dutch and Hennessy. What a drive from them. And then we've got the final. We've then got Wadjet that stays into P9. It's Your Boy in P10, Spud Muffin in P11, Slushy in P12, probably will drop down into P13, unfortunately, as Daz does have no penalties there, and Tazio will drop down into P14. We might even drop further down into P15 because Rossi will jump him, so Tazio's going to get 1 point for Alpine tonight. Not the night that Alpine wanted, and especially being in a very, very strong position in Division 3. But wow, what a race. And I'm going to let you take away with the rest of the guys finishing while I get these guys in for an interview.
Yeah, take it away, SJ. Do all the stuff that you need to do. I'll tell you what, ladies and gents, we've seen a phenomenal race tonight. Abhishek does end up being from P17 from memory up into the Grand Prix victory. We were question marking some of the moves he was making. Were they a bit too aggressive? Will we see the result maybe get turned around? Let's not worry about that for now. Let's celebrate his victory as he drove fantastically well, had a lot of pace, and was very, very effective in making those positions and staying consistent throughout the Grand Prix. Brian as well, hats off to him to having that collision with Calco earlier on in the Grand Prix to still even end up in P2. What a phenomenal performance from him with that front wing damage throughout the remaining final few laps. And of course, Tyler, I was question marking, maybe he could have got a bit aggressive earlier on, maybe could have got a position onto Brian, but if he tried to make that position and had some contact, then maybe we potentially could not see him on the podium here tonight. So fantastic drive from the top three here. They've done a fantastic job. And of course, we will quickly rattle off the rest of the grid and see where the rest of our grid ended up. Does look like we have Brian as the most points earned in the weekend, as he did get those 8 points from the sprint race, and of course the 18 from the race. But I'll quickly rattle off the results of the Grand Prix. Abhishek takes your P1, Brian in P2, Tyler P3, Maddie P4, potentially could have maybe felt hard done by with that contact from Calco in the remaining few laps, potentially could have got the win. Calco in 5th, Dutch Verstappen in 6th, and Hennessy in 7th. Nishka in 8th, Cristiano 9th, CJ 10th, Spud Muffin 11th, Daz 12th, Squishy 13th, and I wasn't able to rattle off the rest of them. Rossi in 14th, I did think I saw as well there, but great race from these guys. Very eventful race. I think we saw a lot of jostling of position earlier on in the Grand Prix as well, and to see it all shake out and Abhishek as your Grand Prix victor was very entertaining to see tonight, SJ.
Oh, definitely. Obviously the stewards will be busy. There was a few things happening at the end there. We've got obviously, the situation with Calco and MediaU. That will obviously be looked at massively. I'm just gonna quickly fire this in because this has just come up, so I do apologise. So I'm just gonna go back to this one, and I'm just gonna share this because I need to get the audio because otherwise we're not going to be able to hear what we're saying. So bear with me. Just let me get rid of this, and hopefully we can hear us. Can you just talk, Cass?
Yes, I can. Hello, 10-4 Oscar Mike Charlie Echo. Are we green and go, SJ?
All right. Well, we're waiting on Brian to jump in. Mm-hmm. So when Brian's ready, we'll start the interviews from P3 to P1. But first of all, before we do get on the way of that, give us a bit of a summary of that race.
Carnage was the summary there, SJ. I think there was a lot going on all at the same time. We saw teammates fighting for positions in the sprint with the Haas and the McLarens. We saw some front wings going flying in turn ones. We saw some rain in qualifying. We saw some very, very great qualifying battle in the end of the Grand Prix qualifying session for the feature race. Mm-hmm. A lot going on tonight, and I think I tried my best. We tried our best to cover as much as we could. There's a lot going on tonight, so if we did miss your battles, I do apologise, but there was a lot going on, SJ. So, and we've finally got our 3 podium place position drivers. Would you like me to take away with the first questions here, SJ, for Tyler, or would you like to take the honours, mate?
No, you can go first. But yeah, the summary was it was very, very interesting race. A lot of things happening from the back, from the midfield and the top. Also the drive through the safety car as well. So yeah, a lot of talking points. But far away with Tyler for P3.
Will do. Well done, Tyler, mate. You did phenomenal tonight. I can see that I was very impressed with your race management, keeping your nose very, very clean. Was there maybe some very intentional decision making that you did with that, or was it just the fact of maybe you didn't have as much pace as maybe the front guys, maybe not too confident on the track? What was your assessment of the race tonight?
Hey boys, how are you doing? I don't know, keeping the nose clean was very hard. I think every lap the breaking point for like the hairpin or T1 or the main corner before the straight was changing every 2 seconds. That played a big role. Keeping the wing clean was okay until I missed my breaking point by like half a meter and tapped the back of someone, but that lost me my end plate. As for pit strategy and like going through the race, I was just lucky with that safety car coming out as I was boxing. I think someone hit the wall behind me into the pits. But yeah, trying to keep the nose clean. The mediums, as we all know, did not last here. They felt like legitimate rubber at lap 7. And yeah, as soon as you got onto hards, you were kind of just praying that people in front would muck up and Kako and someone else got into a muck up. So I came out not on top, but in front.
Yeah, we'll touch base into that as we do have some individuals that might have had some coming togethers with Calco in our podium places. But still a fantastic drive from you, mate. You kept that nose clean and put yourself in the position to capitalise on situations going ahead of you. I did see there was one situation where potentially could have got a move on Brian out of turn 3, I think it was, just at the beginning of sector
I know exactly
2.
what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seemed like you had a bit of a moment. Do you think maybe that could have been a potential position play made for you? Do you think maybe that specific turn, maybe you could have been a bit more aggressive? What's your assessment of that?
Well, we all know Brian Merc driver, the usual stuff. But nah, he rejoined. I think his rejoin was okay. His exit was okay, and then he clicked overtake, I assume, and kept up with me. So going to that fast left, you need to be where Brian was. So I kind of backed out, but I could have, but also I was saving like 50% battery on the straights, so I could have gone for the dive at the hairpin if I wanted to. But again, me starting in 12th to 3rd does sound pretty good. So.
I have to agree. It was a great race from you, Tyler. You raced fantastically well. Of course, I will say thank you very much for hosting as well tonight. You did a fantastic job of managing that, and congratulations on your P3. Over to SJ. Thanks, Tyler.
Cheers, man.
Oh, Tyler, I'm going to start it off probably saying you probably like, how the hell did I end up here? Probably that would be the first thing, because there obviously was a bit of a DRS train in the feature, and obviously things can happen, and we've said this time and time again. It's not over until you hit that checkered flag, and we saw a lot happening in the race, in the midfield, at the back, at the front. So what were you just minding your own business, just waiting for the right moment? And obviously that right moment came, didn't it? And you took the podium.
Well, yeah. As the last lap or second last lap came, I knew someone in front was going to send it or tap someone or whatever. So I moved my braking point maybe 20 meters back or whatever, and that helped. But yeah, trying to bide my time and kind of save myself. I know I had a mishap with Hennessy after, I think it's turn 3 or turn 4, going through that left-right section. A mishap, but I don't think anyone's at fault. But me having a broken wing, China, it's a very demanding track on the car, so you need all your grip, and I didn't really have that. But can't really say much, really. Just bit my tongue, bide my time, and ended up here.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with yourself. Obviously, I've raced with you. I've known you for a long time. You've been with Rush for a long time as well. You've improved as a driver, which is great to see, and that's what we want to see. We want to see drivers improving all the time. Your season up to now, compared to last season, how much of a change has it been, and how much have you adapted from obviously last season to this season?
Last season was I? I honestly can't remember if I was in Div3 or not last season. I
You were
don't
in
think
Div
I
5.
was. Yeah, going from Div5 to Div3 is a big step. Obviously, Matty AU, Hennessy, Dutch, most of us boys came up. But in that sense, it's okay. There's definitely a different type of racecraft. Not that it's bad, not that it's good. But Div 5, usually, who you can fight hard. Like me, even though we were teammates, me and Mitch, we went battling every corner. But some of these guys, you have to give a bit more space, or you have to get past them before the corner to even have a chance. But as for Div 3 on a Wednesday, it makes practicing hard. But that just makes you aware that when you practice, you don't just do time trial. You do quali, then you do race, and then you repeat the race to see what your start was like. And it's a good change. It's a good change. I'll give you that.
That's good. And in regards to to kick as a whole. How do you think they feel going into the season break? How do you think that they feel that the performances have been and where they are sitting on the overalls? Like, how do you think they feel as a team?
Confidence is very high. Sick Party and Brad are almost like brothers. So they're gonna have their knots tied, and I don't think there will be many moves from the kicks, but that's my opinion. But if I could pick a place we could be stronger, it's definitely me, and maybe some of the lower divs. But hopefully we can keep up this pace, and hopefully we can get at Alpine a little bit more after this week.
Well, I disagree, mate. You're putting putting the car on the podium. Keeping it clean, and that's a result in itself, and it motivates you and gives you confidence moving forward into the rest of the season as well, which is really good to see. So no, give props to yourself, mate. Have a bit more confidence in yourself, and you get these rewards, you get these results, and sometimes it can just be luck. We have seen it. We have seen it through some of the divisions this season. Some of the guys that are a lot, not as high as the other guys who've come through and have won races and put it on the podium. So it can happen, and especially we know on this game, and I've said so many times before, DRS is key. If you are in the DRS, you've got a massive opportunity. If you are outside that DRS, you are screwed. It's going to be very, very difficult to try and catch back up unless there is an incident or a safety car, and that's what some people rely on as well. So, and if you don't get that, then you're stuck at the back, and unfortunately, you've just got to try and cement where you finish. So, great job. One more question before we go. F1 26 is around the corner. It is basically starting up this week for the F1 26 season. Who are you following?
Right now I'm following the Aussie, Oscar.
Yep.
But teams, it's always going to be Red Bull.
Okay. So that's a bit of a mixture, isn't it? The rivals between McLaren and Red Bull. So I want Red Bull to do well, but I want Oscar to do well. So that's awesome.
Exactly that.
Well, that's it from me, mate. Have a great break. Review, refresh, do what you need to do. Get involved in the socials, get involved in the watch-alongs. Enjoy the F1 26 season. And can't wait to see you when we return for round 8 in Jeddah.
Cheers, boys. Have a good one.
You too, mate. All right, Cass. I'll take it away for you for Brian in the Merc.
Very much, SJ. Brian, mate, you had some interesting situations that happened ahead of you during that race, but even with the broken front wing, still finalised that P2 position for yourself. Tell me, what was going on in that race? Give me the lowdown. Break it down for me. How was that race for you?
Overall, not too bad. I was pretty happy with the result. I think everything was good until I had some damage. I had the pace. I had the setup to sort of maintain the pace in some dirty air. But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff after I lost a few positions from the contact, it didn't look pretty. I can tell you that much.
There seemed to be some shenanigans going on into turn 1 there with Calco. I don't want to get too much in the weeds there because that's the steward's responsibility to go through that. But any chance you could give us a very brief sort of estimation of your feelings and emotions in that coming together that happened there?
Oh, look, that was just that it's one of those things where it's just you try to go around the outside. I had the inside line. He sort of just tapped my wheel and just sort of set me sideways a bit and gave me the broken wing. But other than that, I managed to sort of keep it on track reasonably well, stay in 4th position for a while, and then just sort of watch the guys fight in front for the next sort of 8 to 10 laps. But yeah, I mean there was a lot of last minute moves and bumps and all that sort of stuff going through all the corners with the cars ahead of me. So it was just one of those things like the sprint. It was try and stay close to them, and if someone makes a mistake, you sort of just pounce on it.
Yeah, 100%. And I will say, I think the job's not finished. The positions, I don't think will be final based on the events that unfolded tonight. You might potentially get P1 off track. You might potentially get it further on. But do you think on track tonight, if that wasn't that situation with Calco, do you think you had the pace to compete and potentially take P1 on track tonight?
I think once I did get in front, I think I would have probably pulled away a little bit each lap, probably just a couple of tenths each lap. I would have pulled away. Wouldn't have been too much. I would have just, absolutely left them. But yeah, I think I just would have just had the pace throughout the whole track just to gain a couple of tenths every lap.
Well done anyways. You got P2 with the situations that are unfolded, so still a fantastic result for you, mate. And good luck heading into silly season and onto Jeddah next 2 weeks, I should say. So I'll hand it over to SJ. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, Brian. What a very interesting night. I'm going to say you've obviously got your Mercedes fan club in the chat, which is absolutely amazing. I love the passion. I love the support. Obviously, the sprint, a very, very good start. Slight change of events, I've got to say. Can you give us a little bit of a lowdown on that? What happened on the last couple of laps? Because we thought that it was going to be it looked like it was going to be a Red Bull 1-3, but things changed very quickly. So can you give us a bit of an insight into the sprint?
Well, basically, like I said before, it's just there was a fair battle going on with the cars ahead. So I just thought there's just little bumps here and there, just little tiny ones going through the corners, and I thought it just takes that little bit extra for a car to spin or go off track or something like that. So it was just, again, stay as close as you can, make sure you stay in the DRS like you said before, and just take advantage when someone does make a mistake.
Well, yeah, and
which worked out good for Nishka too. So
yeah, 100%, and you definitely did. Obviously, that was a great start to the night, and obviously great motivation going into the feature and also into the quali. And what was it like with a bit of a transition? Because we saw last night with Div3, it was a mixture of the wet and then the dry, and then did you know it was going to dry up, and you were going to be probably looking at maybe softs near the end of quali, or was it just try and set as many good times as you can on the inters and try and cement that, and then just do one hurrah on the softs in the feature?
Now, we had the information that it was possibly going to dry up in the last 3 to 4 minutes. So once we had that information, I went out and did a couple of laps on the inters. But yeah, once we worked out that the softs were going to be quicker, it was just abort that lap, get into the pits, and make sure you're sort of ready to go for one lap. Like P3, they weren't the fastest times going out there. But we Nishka put it P1 and I put it P3, so that gave us a good start.
Yeah, and I reckon the Mercedes fan club were shouting and screaming, America back. We've heard it the last probably 3 days. Oh, I probably heard it all week, unfortunately, which is great because that's what it's about. It's about competing. You want to beat Alpine. You've had a fantastic week. Zombie done fantastic. Didn't think he was probably even going to get a podium when he even started the race, let alone when he finished it. So it's been a fantastic week. Obviously, it's your boy done a fantastic job. A little bit unfortunate, and then obviously you've got the drive through for Nishka, and it was like, oh, could it be deja vu? But he done a fantastic drive and fought all the way back, but just could not get past the McLarens tonight. They were just phenomenal with defending. But yourself, you obviously had that front wing damage due to Calco coming over on the right. That obviously was seen on stream, and I'm sure that will definitely be reported there because it did look like he came over. And obviously, you need to give room. You can go side by side all the way through that loop. We see it all the way around onto the right and then down and onto the left. We've seen side by side there. And you just held on. You just held on with that front wing damage. Like, how difficult was that for you when you knew how quick the guys were in front?
I just had to work out, just lift and break a touch earlier going into the right-handers. So once I knew that, I did drop behind a little bit, but then I could sort of coming into the corner slower. I could accelerate a bit harder coming out, so I could sort of catch up a little bit. But yeah, it's just once you know what corners are going to hurt you with the wing damage, you just back it off that little bit and try and get the better exit to make up for it.
Mm-hmm. And the same sort of question with Tyler. You've had an up and down start to the season, and things can change very, very quickly when we come back from the week's break. How do you feel it's gone for yourself, and then obviously for the team?
For the team, the last couple of weeks has been really good. For myself, obviously the first couple of races being disconnected and having internet issues really doesn't help.
Yeah, difficult to find you
But
sometimes. We try to invite you back.
oh no, that was terrible. But that issue's been sorted now, so that's good. But yeah, being able to finish races is always good. I think most of my races have been okay. Got a bit of damage, or for a couple of incidents in Singapore, but other than that, the pace has been there. So I've just got to make sure I capitalise.
Yeah, definitely. We've definitely seen you up there. You know, we saw you up there in Vegas, and you got unfortunate with an incident. Unfortunately tonight, but due to a little bit of a mistake and a little bit of eagerness there between, we'll obviously wait and see what the stewards say between Mediayu and Calco. You managed to, get through and say, yeah, thank you very much. I'll take the P2. So great drive from you, mate. Honestly, it was a fantastic drive. We were talking about it quite a lot with the damage. It must have been very, very difficult, especially with some of those corners. It's a tough track. As soon as you got damage, you have to ease off the brakes. You have to ease off the acceleration. It can be really, really, really difficult. So great job. Last question for you. F126 round the corner. Who are you following?
Oscar for sure.
It's bloody Oscar Piastri fans, eh? Jeez. Well, you're all Aussies, aren't you? So I can't think anything better than that. Yeah. You could have said, I don't know, Leonard or Hadjar or, but no, that's fine. So you're McLaren and you're going Oscar.
Yes, 100%.
Awesome. Well, Brian, have a great break. Enjoy it, review, refresh, do what you need to do. Also, obviously, congratulations on the TP role. It seems to be that things are changing up in Mercedes. Are we going to see any changes in silly season? Are you happy, or are you going to dip your hand in? Like, what were you thinking?
No, at the moment, I think we've got a pretty strong lineup across all divisions. I think this week showed. I think we got a podium in every division this week. So, I mean, at the moment, it's not looking like any changes. But yeah, as I said, all the boys, we've been putting in a lot of practice this week, and there's been a lot of people in the practice too. So it hasn't just been one or two people. So it's been quite good, and everyone's sort of, earned their role, and they're doing enough to keep it. So that's what I want to see.
Awesome. Well, have a great break. Enjoy the F1 26 season and review. Do what you need to do, or just keep practicing. And we'll see you when we come back in Jeddah for round 8.
All right, sounds good.
Cheers, mate. All right, Kaus, for our final interview of the night, we're just giving these guys a little bit longer because this is our last race and we do have a little bit of a break. So we thought we'd spend a little bit more time with these guys. And I'll let you take it away with Albishek.
Yeah, nothing wrong with getting to know the podium place finishes, and there's nothing better than being on the top step, and that is what you've done tonight, Abhishek. As the checkered flag finished, you came through in P1. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that drive was from P17 in the Grand Prix.
Yes, it was.
Beautiful. That's a great result, mate, tonight. I do want to question though. There was a bit of an incident going on in the qualifying as to why you were P17. Can you give us some insight as to what happened there? Was it an invalidation?
No, actually, I'm pretty bad in the wets, and I could not figure out a good lap. And by the time I got on the soft tires, I was still messed up in my head because of my last lap incident in the sprint race. So basically, I messed up all 3 runs.
Right, understood. No worries at all. Well, look, you seem to recover it well, It doesn't matter where you start, it's about where you finish. So you got the job done into P1 and finished the race with the victory. I do want to query you, though. There were some incidents that happened throughout the night. Maybe some incidents with Calco, Matty AU, potentially even Brian as well, I think, maybe in some sections. Do you think, based on what's happened tonight, that potentially you can hold on to this this Grand Prix victory when it's all said and done, Abhishek?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
but not because of the incidents which you have mentioned, but earlier when I was, I think somewhere around P12, I did tap somebody on the pinhole, the turn one, so I could get a pen for that.
Right, understood. Well, it's good to hear that potentially you might be aware of some situations, but look, I hope all falls down your way because you did drive a fantastic race tonight. I do want to question you a little bit here. There was a period of time in the race where, remember, I think you were P3 or P2 and you were chasing down, I think it was Calco, and there was a situation that potentially was unfolding into that turn one position there. You talk us through that battle with Calco and how that unfolded. Did you know he was going to come up onto that inside line into turn one?
Actually, I had a lot of pace throughout the race. I could keep up with anybody in front, but it was very difficult for me to overtake. So I could not find the right spots to overtake, and maybe these guys were running a lower wing on the straight for some reason. So overtaking was very tough, but following anybody, I had a lot of pace in this. This track suits me. So I'm still confused which incident you're talking about with Calco, but in the end, I managed. He made a mistake, and I managed to overtake him.
Beautiful. Well, well done. Otherwise, Abhishek, you drove fantastically well from P17 to be in P1. As I said before, I hope all falls your way. And other than that, you drove fantastically well. So congratulations, mate. You've done well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Abhishek. Yeah, what a very interesting night. We'll start off with the sprint. We saw a few things change right at the end. It looked like you were in the driving seat for the sprint. Obviously, with this DRS train, it looked like it was very difficult to follow. We could see that Brian, excuse me, was catching your teammate at the time, Slushy, and was getting closer. And it looked like we were going to see a Red Bull P1 and P3, but for some reason something happened. Can you give us a little bit of an insight what happened on the last couple of laps of the sprint?
It was not. It was the last. It was the first turn of the last lap
Mm-hmm.
where we both touched. I was on the inside and he was on the outside, and we touched and I spun.
Oh, okay.
In hindsight, I should have let him go, but maybe my racecraft is not up to the mark. So I should have got P2 there.
Yeah.
Because coming onto the
Go on. Sorry.
coming onto the straight, the final lap, he had DRS on me, and because I messed up the last turn, and so I should have let him go and got P2, but I'm prone to making mistakes, and I did one.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Everyone is, everyone is normal. Everyone's not a robot. We're all human. We do make mistakes. Do you believe that sometimes you're driving, and this is not a negative? We're just asking honest questions for the stream for everyone to listen to as well. Do you believe that sometimes you can be quite aggressive with some of your driving? I did see a few incidents. There was a situation where you were coming down into sector one. You were coming through the loop. You're then coming down. You had Malia Yu. He was on your left. You made the move on the right. Do you sometimes think that you need to give more room because it looked like you moved over and blocked him? And in end of the day, when you're coming into a line like that, he has the ability to turn left as well. He obviously he has that space on the left, and obviously you have your space on the right. Then we saw another incident that where you came into the chicane before you go into the loop before the last DRS zone. You came in very, very hot and didn't give much room to the guy on the right coming into that chicane. And that chicane is very, very difficult to even go too wide. Do you believe sometimes you can be quite aggressive with some of your driving, and that's something that maybe you need to just have a look, review, and improve moving forward into Jeddah? Are you there? We may have lost him. Kels, are you there?
Might have lost Abhishek. Yeah, I'm still
I
here.
think we are.
I'm kicking, loving life.
I was waiting for an answer, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get one. Abhishek, are you there? We have lost him. Okay. All right. Well, that is such a shame. I was hoping to get an answer. Abhishek,
Question. I'll be honest. I don't have the.
No, I'm
You're
gonna
really
ask,
cutting through the lines there, SJ.
Well, he's my teammate, and I know in this race that there'll probably be a few tickets on him. So it's like you got to learn from your mistakes, and if you're too aggressive, these guys will report you because end of the day they are entitled to racing line. Doesn't matter where you are on the track, they are entitled to it. And if you're blocking them, there's a way of blocking someone. There's a way of defending. You can defend. We saw that.
There's
tonight.
keeping your car wide, and there's being a bit too aggressive, right? There's a really fine line, but it's clear. Like you need to understand where you need to position your car. But if you make a decision and you position your car in a certain way, you have to keep it there. The moment that you move is where you start asking questions of potentially stewards and whatnot and getting them involved and all that sort of stuff. So I do agree, SJ. I think watching that race, as much as Abhishek did win the race and he had a fantastic showing of pace, I think there are learnings for him to potentially improve from this race.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not trying to call him out. I'm just trying to ask the honest questions because we're watching, we see what's going on. And I was watching him in a few areas, and he did look very aggressive coming in. Don't get me wrong, great drive, but if you're pushing to pass and to get to P1, you know that you're not going to keep that position because you've done stuff on the way there. So if you can get your way through the pack by making clean maneuvers, by making overtakes, by defending, then great. All me. And we saw it tonight and with the McLarens. The McLarens done a great job. I don't know if it was legit or whatever, but from what we saw, it was legit. They did a great job. They defended Nishka and he couldn't get through, and that's great defending. And when you've got two of you against one, they just work off each other, that he speeds up, he slows down, drops it into none. The other person gets the DRS. Nishka's got no chance because he's got two cars in front. If there's a gap between him and Hennessy, then he can then overtake because because there's no DRS. So the guy is going to come under pressure straight away, and that's what it's all about. So it's great to see him obviously win. He is my teammate, so 100%. But end of the day, winning and winning fair instead of jeopardizing other people's races on the track. That's something that we need to see improved. And that's been a problem with Division 3. The racecraft has just been a little bit lackluster, and it's something that can be improved because the guys have got it. The guys have got some serious pace. They just need to understand their race awareness, where to position the car. And like I said to you before, and I've said this to the stewards, I've said this to other drivers, you're going to have different tracks where this is going to come and you're going to come unstuck. There's not going to be no lifeline because you're going to have a wall in front of you or a corner, and that's it. Game over. You hit that wall, that's it, done. So it's going to be a very interesting one to see what happens. But end of the day, like he's won. Is he going to stay? We'll have to wait and see what the stewards say. But on that note, I know we've had a little bit of a long night. It's been great. It's been fantastic. It has been a very, very fantastic race to end in the break week. I'm going to pass it over to Kaz if he's got anything to say before I close it out. But thank you very much, Kaz, to becoming the new commentator for Rush this season. Really, really good to have you on board. Great to talk to you. I talk to you on podcasts. I talk to you on shows and VCs, so it's great. We have things in common. But yeah, thank you once again. You did a fantastic job. Have you got anything to say before we close it out?
Yeah, thanks, SJ. Appreciate being here tonight. I think we navigated it well. I've enjoyed the time that I've had here, but I don't like you enough to spend more than extra 3 hours here. So let's wrap it up. Yeah, no, kidding. But no, thank you anyway, and I hope you all enjoyed the race tonight. It was very eventful. And yeah, we'll see you all next week after silly season. Who knows where we all will end up? Are you potentially looking to maybe change teams in this silly season right here, SJ? Any information you want to leak here or hint out?
No. All I'm going to link it out is you've got about 1 more hour or 2 more hours before silly season opens. So fasten your seatbelts. and get involved. I'm just going to read this message out as it was a bit of a handful. Thanks to everyone so far this season. We are now on a break week. Get involved in the socials or take a break or a kick out that you will need. Have a great way to come back to season kicking off at Jeddah for round 8. Also, get amongst the rumour mill and all the deals throughout silly season. Don't forget, the F1 26 is just around the corner and it starts this weekend. So get amongst it, get amongst the Discord, get amongst the watch-alongs as well. Follow your favourite teams and your favourite drivers. Take care and look after yourselves, and we will see you very soon. Thank you very much to your local funny dude for the follow. Also, Brian X as well. Cassie for the 3-stream streak and also the onboards as well. And also to all you drivers and all the admins, all the stewards, everyone, commentators for this start of the season. I know it is only round 7, but it has been an absolute pleasure as always. I love doing it. I'm going to miss it, but everyone needs a break. It's been fantastic. And it's only just starting to get, it's only getting started, Alpine are leading the overalls. Will that be the same by the end of the week? It's going to be very interesting. It's been a very mixed week of teams that have scored big points. Are we going to see a new team on the running that are now going to start to build in that form going into the remainder of the season? There is some big tracks coming up. You've got Jeddah when we come back. It's going to be a difficult one. And then after that, you've got Hungary, which we've got 70 laps round. So that's going to be tough in itself. So a lot to look forward to. But thank you very much to all the directors, everyone at Rush, and also you guys as the audience and the drivers. And also to our sponsors. Big shout out to them, Pagni and SimLab, AI369, and our affiliate this season, SRC. I will leave you a quote before I go, but I will close it out with the silly season as well. Albashek takes the win in the feature. Questions will be asked. Will he keep it? We will find out very, very soon. Silly season is upon us. Enjoy the new teams, enjoy the new moves, and we will see you in a week's time when we're back at Jeddah. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great break, and we'll see you soon. Good night.